late night live stream. It's me, TCC, and tonight, my Weedle is in the Pokemon Center recovering, and we are starting this stream so much later than usual. 2 hours and 22 minutes late, in fact. So it could be a short stream. I don't know. We shouldn't go for 5 hours. It might be about a 2.5 hour stream tonight. But I'm still here and ready to open up some cards for you guys and talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. All right, let me start by getting some new penny sleeves. Uncle John. What's up, Uncle John? What's up, Shahir? Who's here? Who has not gone to bed? Check in. Probably people in California. So you guys stay up, well, you don't stay up later than other people. You're just on a different clock. What time would it be in California? It'd be 12 in California. How's it going, Californians? We probably have some viewers from the UK and Australia as well. What time would it be in the UK? 8? I think it'd be 8:30 almost. All right, we got more deck sleeves, more penny sleeves open. I did not prepare the stream at all. All the slabs are the same. I haven't cleaned anything up. You know, all the products the same product. Yeah, I haven't like organized anything. It's a mess. I threw the bulk up on the windowsill rather than, you know, getting rid of it. Singapore 4, Netherlands. You have life mistress, okay. Florida in the house. Damn, you're up late in Florida. Of course, you got the overnight workers, don't you? Overnight workers and people who are just, they don't go to sleep in the night. They go to sleep in the day because they're vampires. All good in Texas, only 2 a.m. That's true. Well, you and I are on the same clock because I'm in Missouri. I'm right above you. Actually, you know, all my friends basically moved to Texas. I had a lot of friends in Missouri. A bunch of them moved to Texas. 2 really close friends moved to Texas. And then another friend moved to South Carolina. I almost said South Georgia. I was like, what is that? There's no such thing. He moved to South Carolina, and he also does a little bit of YouTube, but he's into religion. He does like Christianity, or no, he does, it's a mix of like Christianity and Judaism. There's a word for it. I don't remember. Wow, I've forgotten because I haven't talked about it in so long. There's a South Georgia. You can get a whole lot of house in Texas for not that much money, says Emily. It's true in Missouri as well, actually. You can get a whole lot of house in Missouri as well. So we're similar in that way. Both red states. Actually, I would argue Missouri might be a little more red than Texas. We do have St. Louis. And I don't know how Kansas City is. But, you know, the last election, Texas was getting pretty close to flipping. Just want to point that out. You guys almost flipped. And Missouri, not at all. Missouri was not going to flip. So Missouri is not a battleground state. But Texas, you know, you're getting closer. You guys got a lot of people coming over from California and voting blue, I think. What is a red state? A state that's been painted red. Depends on where you look in Texas. My rental home costs $2,300 a month. Yeah, you know, if you're living probably in like Austin or something like that, it's going to be pretty crowded, huh? I almost get sent out to Interdependence, Missouri. I think you mean Independence. I'm pretty sure that's the name. Independence, Missouri. Did you add anything spicy to the vintage box? The vintage... Oh! He might be talking about this right here. And I believe I added... You might be able to kind of see them, actually. Are these it? So I added a total of 6 vendor cards to the box, and I only raised the price by $1. The reason that's significant is because the vendor cards cost me like $2,000. So the vendor cards, you get a number of them, and they cost a butt ton. So I raised the price by about $1, and I know there's not 2,000 cards in this little box, but I only put about 6 of them in there. I haven't done a lot of math on the subject, but they're in here. I don't want to know where they're at. I spread them out pretty evenly. And as you know, what I always do is I pull 1 from the front. If you order 2, I pull 1 like randomly. So if you can grab a vendor card, that would be great because the vendor cards are pretty cool. The vendor cards are cool. There's not so many of them, and they're just part of this sort of niche Japanese collection that not a lot of people talk about, but I think it's a really impressive thing. So they're in here and they're expensive. All right, and those are hits. There are hits in that box now, and it only went up by $1, so I think that's great. Plus, there was a Pikachu's in there, Bulbasaur's in there, Squirtle's in there. I think there's a... No, I think someone pulled the War Turtle. I think there's an Ivysaur in there as well. So that's the Japanese common and commons. But be aware, there's still plenty of energy cards, and there's plenty of trainer cards in there as well. So if you were to order 2 cards from the box, there's, I'm sure, a chance that you could pull an energy card and a trainer, or 2 trainers, or 2 energy cards. So they're not all hits. I don't want to get people too hyped, right? Temper your expectations. All right, let's get started. So we started the stream up super late. I'm not expecting a very good audience. I'm expecting probably like half our usual viewers, so maybe we'll hover around 150 at some point. And I'm going to jump over here to the list because I bet people put in pre-orders. They usually do. We got Undertale playing in the background. Can't slow me down. It's the first order. He says, Dratini Rocket return slab away, please. If sold, please open 4 shiny fates. So I think somebody else already did that. I think somebody else already grabbed that Dratini. They had the same exact idea you did. Pretty sure they did, yeah. Yeah, so I showed off the population on that Dratini, 7 10s and 29s. And all of a sudden, the price on him made a lot more sense. And when you look at the Rocket Returns cards, they're all basically like that. You're not going to get cheap Rocket Returns cards. Like if you get the non-holo rares, see that was a reverse holo Dratini, right? But if you get the non-holo rares, even those are expensive. It's like 150 for a 10. So he said, 4 shiny fates. 1, 2, 3, 4. How's it going, everyone? How is it going? Don't forget the live shipping today, Mr. Jeremy. I think I did it already. I looked in the J box. I didn't see any J slabs. So you might have already gone out, mister. I didn't write any notes about it, did I? God, there's too many notes. If anyone's mad about Mr. starting late, he does this every night. It's okay for him to spend time. Bad Derek. Bad TCC. Back to work. Open those Pokemon cards. Was all up in that WAP? That's right. Worship and Pokemon. The House of Pokemon. Ooh, Duraludon. That looks really nice. It's so late tonight. What's up, Casey? My email says it has not been picked up. Oh, but you got an email? That means that... What that means is that a label was printed, and sometimes those tracking numbers don't update properly, okay? So, like, the mailman doesn't always manage to scan the package. Does that make sense? You have to understand, they work really fast, and it gets scanned multiple times, and it might have just been missed. They might have just been working fast. Here's Snob. Did you ship my big box and card graders? Never got any emails. No, Mr. James Gower, you still need to be shipped. Tyler Matson, he's got some cards I want to ship out. What I'm supposed to do for him is I'm supposed to pick out the 40 cards that he wanted graded with TCC grading and then ship the rest. So I still need to do that as well. There's James Gower and Tyler Matson, and I'm trying to remember if there was anyone else. Master, can we keep a permanent address but give you a temporary address for shipping one time? Ooh, let me think about what you mean by that. The address that you have me shipped to has to match the address in your PayPal, okay? So you can have me ship wherever you want, but it has to be the address in your PayPal or I won't do it. Because that opens up all kinds of risk. Get the app called Shop. It shows you the shipping better. It's free and tells you exactly what your package is doing. Mister, that's a fat rat right there. Who's fat? You talking about Pikachu? All right, Mr. Can't Slow Me Down. Oh, you're talking about Squovid, aren't you? Squovid, he's got little chubby cheeks. One junk box in my slab went to St. Louis. St. Louis? Well, I tell you what, if you're worried about it, Mr. Jeremy, do me a favor. Just shoot me a message on Discord. I'm behind on my messages, too, unfortunately. There's a lot I get done before I go live. I didn't do any of that today. So shoot me an email. Send me a message on Discord explaining exactly what was meant to go out and that you're a little concerned that it didn't. And I'll look around and confirm that it did go out. But I looked in the box before we started just now, and I didn't see Jeremy Patterson slabs in the J box. Okay, back to it. Can't Slow Me Down. He's the first order of the night. Too busy in bed. Who's in bed? Here we are. Pika! Metapod, use Harden. Weedle, use String Shot. Cloyster's using Mega Drain. All right. Now we've got Steven Barr. Mister, please add 6 more TCC card grader pre-orders to the 4 that I already have. Wow. You got it. So that's Steven Barr. He wants 6 more of them. Very cool, man. Thanks for all the support. I cannot wait to start officially grading cards. It's going to be so cool. Slab your string shot and put it in a live custom. What? What are we talking about? Next up, we got Anthony Shime. Mister, I would like Ammonite PSA 9 Sandstorm. Oh, damn. He would also like the Hop CGC 9. Refund if sold off the table. I keep falling asleep partway through your stream. All right, so these are sold. Look at this, from Sandstorm. Look how cool that is. Oh, we need some new slabs over here. Didn't that sell? I thought this sold. Here's a 9.5 Charizard for $65. Have you seen the Pokemon biology pictures of Pokemon Unreal as Mazeballs? Can you grade my cut Charizard? Mr. Van Missiel, I'm sure I could actually. I'd give it a grade of 0, which would be for like joke grades. And the 0 would stand for TCC trash. Trash tier. Sliced in half. PSA would not do that, and I think that's sad. Come on, PSA, have some fun. It's not that serious. It's just a Pokemon card. If they can confirm it's an authentic Pokemon card, what's their argument for not grading a cut card? Tell me. No, we're way too professional for that. What if we had a PayPal address? Then could we ship to either one of those addresses? PayPal lets you add multiple addresses. Is that what you're explaining? I would like to be able to ship to the address you have. You're making me think. I think that would be okay. Yeah, if it was officially in your PayPal account. But how would I verify that? So, like, if it's in your account, but it's not the address that's displayed when I look up the transaction, how would I confirm that it's actually in your account? You see what I'm saying? All right, next up, we got Mr. Ryan Morrow. He says, hello, Mr. I would like 2 Dragon Ball Super Cross Spirits. I think he wanted 3 of those. He sent me a message about that. All right, so 3 of these. And 3 Eevee Heroes. Oh, mister, you said the magic word. Ow. You can only have 1 address in PayPal. Can you? I'm trying to remember. I feel like you might be able to have multiple addresses, but you can only have 1 active address. Do you have a Dark Marowak that I could buy from you? Dark Marowak? You mean like from Rocket Returns? I don't think I do. Actually, I might have one that recently came in, and he might be like a PSA 4, 5, or 6. But I don't have like a high-end one. And I don't even, if I do have one that's graded 4, 5, 6, I don't even know where I'd find him. He's in a massive pile of slabs. He is a child lost in the ocean. I multiple and I have to make sure it's the right one every time, says James Gower. Mr. Waiting on those hot slabs. We got Pan the Brawler. We've got Vegeta the Brawler. And Hercule Mation Exterminator. Is it Hercule? Hercule? Ooh. Why so late? I don't know, mister. I was busy with things. I had some really important things come up that I couldn't say no to. I'll put that over there. Ryan Morrill. All right. I was having a pokey battle. You wouldn't understand. AKA Mr. Satan. Yes, that's canon. What? Kenneth Fallon. 1 random Japanese card, 1 face collide. 1 job you would never or prefer to never do again. A job I'd never want to do again, huh? Well, all my jobs were labor jobs, and the worst one was UPS. Wait a second. Oh, this is, that's the poker card box. All right, let me just grab you a random card here. Oh, nice. You pull Onyx from the base set. Ooh. So a job I would never like to do again. I'd never like to work for UPS again. UPS was really terrible. They were pretty bad. Now let's get you that face collide. It was like dehumanizing. The managers did this thing where they would walk up. So let's say you were in the back of a truck throwing boxes. And it was a really tiring job, right? Like it was a lot of physical labor. But the managers would walk up to the end of the trailer. So they'd be on the outside of it, inside the warehouse. You could see them. You know, you're in this dark tunnel because you're throwing boxes from the inside of the truck. But you could see them. And what they would do is they would get into a fight with each other. Two old men, and they were kind of muscular and everything. They were like fit because their job was a UPS warehouse. But what they do is they start fighting with each other, and they would start dropping F-bombs, and it looked like they were this close to throwing fists with each other. I'd never seen it anywhere else before. They would get real violent with their language, like, F you, you motherkin, and blah, blah, blah. And it took me a while to figure it out. I noticed they did it almost like in a pattern. I think what they would do is they would use it as a strategy to get you to throw boxes faster. I think it was fake. I think they would get into this fake fight, and this would get your adrenaline pumping because you feel like a fight's about to occur. And then you'd throw boxes faster, and you'd be in a certain mood because of it. I never forgot that. I'm pretty sure it was a fake fight they would get into because they would do it to multiple people. And I'm like, that looks like a fake fight. But it was a really, really violent and loud argument, explosive with really violent language. But they never threw fists. So I seen your hairline in your new video. So anyways, that was my worst job, and I wouldn't want to go back to it. Did you see the Mario movie castings? Chris Pratt as Mario. Chris Pratt? Who's that guy? Kenneth Fallon. Here we are. I do that all the time. Hairline gang, stand up. Mine's like that too, says Snorlax. Ah, Snorlax. I thought I would have thick, luscious hair forever. Star-Lord. Here in Pokestan. Jack Black as Mario. Jack Black as Mario? It's me! Next up, we got Ryan Morrill. Hello, mister. I had an order. Oh, okay, good. Here, he's just explaining. James O'Brien. Hello, Mr. 10. Shiny Fates. 9 McDonald's. 1 live shipping. For the live shipping, I have 2 slabs and 5 packs from the gym challenge. Please ship everything else, including my bag. Except do not ship the gym challenge Arcanine. I will do TCC grading on the Arcanine. All right. That's a big message. I feel like I'm going to mess that up, James. I feel like I'm going to mess that up. So here's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to take your Arcanine right now and place them back here. Ta-da! All right, so now we're not going to mess that up. Okay, now we're going to open up your 10 Shiny Fates. Have to grab a box. Here we are. You really haven't seen the cast for the new Mario movie? LOL! That's right, LOL! Procod says, or as Mexicans like to call it, dinner. What are we talking about? We talking about bussy? I don't know what you guys are talking about. All right. So, toss this over here. We got these lovely fellas. I have 2 Japanese PSA slabs. Well, I better ship that too then. That's what I'm thinking. I'm excited for the Mario. It's gonna suck. It's gonna suck, man. Why are they making a Mario movie? Money? Why does anyone do anything, man? Money? Mr. Krabs, money, money, money. Late stream. It's really late. This is the late night live stream. We're 18 minutes in. We only have 100 viewers because we started so late. But that's okay. It's just me and you. So let's get you those 9 McDonald's now. You guys watch Star Wars Visions? I watched it. Me. I like Shiny Star V and Shiny Fates. It's kind of similar. I think I have some Shiny Star V on the way in. Don't hold your breath on that because I can't remember. Greetings from Germany. Guten Tag. He's from Deutschland. So is this the special stream where you give out free packs? They're making a movie. Are those Big Mac packs? These are the Big Mac packs. How many we got so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8. From Scotland. He's from Scotland. He's gonna call ladies hens. He'll say, "Don't worry about it, hen." He's gonna say, "Goni, you gonna stop saying bowls?" Let's see what else. Goni and wouldn't he? I wouldn't he? I wouldn't he do that? Sneep. I love the Scottish accent. It's too bad it's so cold up there in Scotland, because I would definitely want to spend a lot of time in Scotland. But you guys got some cold weather. You're like Russia up there. It's so cold. Holy cow! You guys got like the 30 days of darkness and all that. It's because you guys are so north. Really cold, man. I mean, we're in September where I live, and I think it got up to 90 degrees outside today. It's almost, yeah, it's like almost November, and it's like, it got up to like 86, I think. Goni, stop saying bowls. Hard nippy's cold. That's right. So cold that I think it would, I'd get like depressed. It's so cold. Have you seen the new Pokemon biology artworks? I've not. Here's Rowlet. You're going to be lurking. Turkey lurking. What? All right, what do we got? Charizard. Oh, nope, just, I'm sorry, just Cinderace. So far, cold, Mr. James. This has been a cold ETB. Usually you get a hit like almost every pack. We're like halfway through. But you know, all you really need is that, oh, here we go. Dracopult, that's an actual hit. That is a desirable shiny holo. Very nice. Any news on Brian? Not that I've heard. You got Caparaja and the Coomed Out Ice Trainer. Damn. Caparaja. I don't really like Caparaja. He looks like he's meant to have been in Minecraft. Okay, put that over there. 2 packs left. Come on, Charizard. Where's the Coomed Out Ice Trainer again? Oh my lord. Wow, that was out of the same ETB. You guys saw it with your own eyes. I had the ETB right on the table and set the packs down. Double Coomed Out Ice Trainer. And more Pecco. Weird, man. What if it was double Charizard? I guess in theory it happened to someone then, right? Maybe. Maybe. All right. Caparaja. More like Kappa elephant meat. Gotta eat something in Poke World. Bet those Caparajas provide a lot of meat. Sneep. Get some ivory from those tusks. Finally. Sneep. They put a warrant out for his arrest. Oh, so he's not just a person of interest anymore. They're going after a criminal now. I don't know if that's what that means, but yes. Brian's already escaped the country, man. We got Mudkip. Crazy. Freaking Brian. He pulled money off her Capital One card. Oh, and that's theft, isn't it? So they said, you know what? We'll get him on theft. So we'll start there. Damn, man. Looking like he murdered someone. And I think his parents helped him escape. We're all talking about the Gabby Petito Brian Laundrie murder mystery. I think the parents helped him. And you know, yes, they found a reason to arrest and they jumped on it. I think, did you guys hear the story where the neighbors said that they saw when he initially came back, and they didn't even know Gabby was missing yet. When he initially came back, the parents, they went out with them on a hiking trip and they put a big camper on top of the vehicle. Well, I've heard a theory that they put him in the camper and drove way off and got rid of him in a place where he would be able to get a head start. And then they drove home without him. Here's Froakie. Oh, man, look at that Froakie. Ribbit. That's the theory. His parents went to visit with Brian's lawyer. Oh, man. Parents. Oh, there we go. Mr. James O'Brien. Finally a hit. A lovely Charmander holo, man. I gotta get one of these. It's their kid and everything. No, 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 mister. Your kid doesn't get to murder someone else's kid and then you help them. That is aiding and abetting. If your adult child murders another child and you help them, that's also criminal activity. Murder is cringe, yo. No, no, no. No, no, no. Poplio, put that arm down, Poplio. You're going to get me in trouble. All right, Poplio going over here. And finally, he has a federal arrest warrant. Also, Mr. sent in an order for the Spearow. For this. Oh, cool. Okay. Snivy Charmander. Whee! Oh, Snivy. Boop. So that was for James O'Brien. James, no holographic Pikachu. You did pick up holographic Charmander, which is kind of nice. Let's go over your pulls real fast, man. Snivy, Poplio, Piplup, Charmander, Froakie, Turtwig, Grookey, Rowlet, Mudkip. Okay, and then over here you have Dracloak, which I guess pairs with your Dragapult. You have double combed out Ice Trainer. I saw a face kind of like that earlier. We've got Indeedee, Dragapult, Cinderace, and Caparaja. Nothing too wild from that box. I don't know how much combed out Ice Trainer actually goes for. It's sort of a faceless trainer, though, so, you know, if we're being realistic, probably not too much. All right, James O'Brien, you got a big old box, right? James O'Brien. I'm trying to remember what we did last with James O'Brien. I feel like you used to have a big box, and then we shipped that. We got Jonathan Morris. I think you used to have a big old box. I think maybe I have no bag, he says. Oh, that's possible. Let's just do a quick check down here. Jackson, Jesse, Jacob Gay. His name's Jacob Gay. Brian Laundrie on the run. What a scummy dude. All right, let's go ahead and print it up, Mr. James. And since you're having me ship some rather expensive gym challenge packs, we're going to go with the full-on expensive priority mail shipping. Man, I feel tired, man. I feel tuckered out. Still recovering from earlier. Didn't eat. James O'Brien. Look at all that lovely vintage cards. Oh, James, I would have been just as happy if you had pulled Charizard PSA 10. Ah, well, man. It wasn't even a box with the Charizard. I'm going to cry. I think that's the first box we've opened, the first vintage box, where it didn't have the Charizard in it. You know, because we opened up like a fossil box, and yeah, you know, there's no Charizard in the fossil box, but we pulled the Dragonite, which is kind of like the Charizard. So I think that's officially the first tough box we've had. After they catch him, I know they're going to make a documentary about the whole story. He says it's okay, I pulled McDonald's Charmander. Hey, there you go. Easy cheesy. Next up, we got Chris Kivankot. Can I get 2 Blue Sky Streams? You sure can, Mr. Chris. What do I think about Pokemon Unite? I think it's pretty united. Sneep. We've got Volcarona. Ooh. Poo-Poo Unite. That's right. Hold. So that's for Chris Kivankot. He says, I have a bag. Nuh-uh. Why, Mom? How's the large? The large is started. I forgot to talk about it. I forgot to talk about it when we started. Here's the large. So we got this little chunk right here. And we got a ways to go to fill that list out. Next up, we got Jared Sentovic. Mister, I got an email saying that my pending payment from 9/16 was cleared. I was wondering if I could use that 104 credit to get 15 EV Heroes instead of the original order. Sounds good. We can definitely do that for you. Let me go find Mr. Jared. I would have written it down. Jared. Here we are. Need phone number? I don't even remember what this is. Amy Barwick? Needs live shipping, needs phone number. Jared Sentovic. All right. Now you're saying that cleared, huh? Let's go get you. You said how many? 15 EV Heroes. I'll allow it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. Hey, mister, what's your opinion on fusion arts? Fusion arts. They're cool. I don't hate them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so 7, and we need 8 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Splitgate is fire. That's 15. And how much are these? These are $7 each. What's 15 by 7? Well, you're about $4. Let me just see real fast. No, you're like $1 short. You're good. All right. I think someone said that they took this Spearow. They bought it. I'm going to remove it from the table now. Here it goes. Hey, hey, hey. Sneep. What else you guys want to talk about? You guys want to talk about anything fun? It's just me and you. Only 130 viewers tonight because we started so late. Just me and you. You can ask me all the questions you know you could never ask in public. Sneep. Let's talk about what you did earlier. I played patty cake. My wife and I were having a Pokemon battle. It's a fun alternative game to play with friends. What do I think about MetaZoo? I've shared my feelings about MetaZoo many times. If MetaZoo was not being pumped on social media, if it was just another toy on the shelf at Walmart or Target, you would not buy a single pack of MetaZoo. So that's my feelings on MetaZoo. You would not buy a single pack of it, except that people keep talking about it on YouTube, and that's about it. In fact, I bet you there are card games. Oh, what's this? He got the alternative art, Jolteon V. Congratulations, Mr. Jared Sentovic. All right. Yeah, so those are my feelings. How did Pokemon go viral? Pokemon didn't hire social media artists. I think back then, what happened with Pokemon, it was actually so innovative and fun that just everyone told each other about it because they had to play it, they had to share it, they had to talk about it. Like, how did I hear about Pokemon? I didn't hear about it on YouTube. There was no YouTube back then. There was no such thing. What happened was everyone just knew about it because it was that fun to play. You couldn't get away from it. It was brand new. It was intoxicatingly fun. The designs of the Pokemon, Pikachu, Charizard, Jigglypuff, right? Everything about it was mind-blowing. And it was a video game, too. That was the other thing. It didn't start out as a card game. It started out as a video game. And there was a TV show that launched pretty much at the same time as well. So they all came out as a trio. And it was like, it was such a phenomenon. And now you pay lots of money for Pokemon cards. You pay $65 for this Pokemon. Well, there's MetaZoo cards out there going for quite a bit of money. And it doesn't make any sense to me because it didn't have any of the things that Pokemon had. It didn't spread by word of mouth. There were famous people who talked about it in their social medias. And I believe they're going to be paid to do that, or they might have already been being paid to do that. So they were, and it benefits them to sell it too. Some guys sell MetaZoo, And they probably get it at a better profit margin than they get Pokemon, right? Because everyone buys and sells and trades Pokemon. So when you're an LGS trying to make lots of money, one of the ways to make better money is to improve your profit margin when you sell an item. So if you sell one item for $10, but you only make $1 profit, that's not as good as selling a different product for $10 and making $5 profit. Well, if I had to guess, MetaZoo doesn't command the same profit. MetaZoo doesn't demand such a small profit margin. They're probably a little more generous because it's, it's new, it's experimental, and not everyone's doing it. So the LGSs have a reason to pump it because they're going to make more money on it when you buy it. That's my guess. I don't know. I haven't been offered any kind of deal to buy and sell MetaZoo. So the LGSs probably have some financial reason to get into it. Social media content creators, as long as you're clicking on their video, they have a reason to talk about it. And the main reason people click on it is to hear all the controversy, in my opinion. They want to disagree. They want to, or maybe they're on the other side. Maybe they're like, yeah, I'm going to get rich off of MetaZoo. I think there's quite a lot of people thinking that way. I'm going to invest. I'm going to be an early investor. And because I'm an early investor, my MetaZoos are going to go to the moon, but they're already at the moon. It started high. It's like when Coinbase came out on the stock market. You guys know Coinbase, the app. Everyone was already excited for it. They already know about it. So it's already in the news. So it's already priced high. So people jumping into MetaZoo right now, I feel like you're jumping in at the start of a big bubble. And when the bubble pops and crashes a bunch, if you were going to buy into MetaZoo, which I wouldn't even recommend that, you wouldn't want to jump in until that bubble pops, right? You wouldn't want to jump in until people start to get nervous and go, what is the value of my MetaZoo? Am I actually a collector of this? You stare at MetaZoo long enough, are they going to go, oh, I just can't get enough of this MetaZoo, man. I identify with this so much. I've wonderful, nostalgic childhood memories of it, childhood memories. Well, they don't have that for MetaZoo. Like, why do we care so much about Chikorita? Because I was a kid when I played with Chikorita. Nobody has nostalgia for MetaZoo the first year it comes out. So yeah, I'm very negative on MetaZoo, and not because I don't want MetaZoo to succeed, but because I think that it's priced so high. It's definitely a speculative bubble created by people who are hoping to get rich, because it's harder than ever to get rich in Pokemon. All right. So that was for Jared Sentovic. Mr. Jared. It just came out. You can't have nostalgia for it. There is no such thing. I need a new bag. That Jolteon was my chase card. Nice. Imagine having nostalgia for something in the first year. It's just not true. And so the people who would actually have nostalgia for MetaZoo, they need like 20 years to get old. And then MetaZoo might make some money. MetaZoo might be a collector's item in 20 years if it doesn't fade into the background of the bazillions of toys out there. And the other question I have for you is, why would you bet on MetaZoo when I would predict that Pokemon rises in price much higher and much faster than MetaZoo anyways? You know what I mean? Like, you could buy a box of MetaZoo and put it in your closet, but pretty much for the same price, you could buy a box of Pokemon and put that in your closet. Which one's going to go up higher? You're underestimating the demand for Pokemon if you really think that the MetaZoo is the better choice. It's not. It's a worse choice. All right. We'll put you in the J box back here where you used to be. Here's Alan Doan, 10 battle styles. How's it going, mister? 10 battle styles. Is Eevee Heroes better to invest in than Evolving Skies? That's a good question. I mean, we're opening Japanese vintage packs today, so I think that Japanese is okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Your dad is terminally ill. Oh, man. His streams keep me going as I can't sleep, and I live in the UK. Harry, I hate to hear that, man. And, yeah, that's the subject of getting old and getting ill. I mean, we all do, right? So, good luck to your dad. And if he passes rather than defeating the terminal illness, You know, I'll see him on the other side. If enough time passes, it'll be my turn next. You guys will have to replace me. You'll have to find another Pokey streamer. We'll all cry. Ah, Derek's TCC's passed away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You know what's interesting, though? We don't really cry for our great-great-great-grandfathers because we never knew them. And yet their death was just as difficult for their children in that time period. So it's an interesting thing, isn't it? Hold on, the music paused. It's an interesting thing. You get forgotten quite easily, but your children remember you, but then your children pass. We all do. The human life cycle is so short if you think about it. It's quite short. Alex has got the electrode out. We'll harvest your brain like Futurama so we can open packs forever. When will you accept crypto? Mr. Roadman, Oops, hold on, this music. Skip! To answer your question, I did accept crypto for a little while, and I received thousands of dollars of payment in crypto from a guy. I think it was like 1 or 2 guys. They kept sending me crypto. And then I lost a lot of the value of that crypto because I didn't sell it out. I didn't sell it off. So, you know, when it was peaked really high, that's when they sent me like $4,000 or $5,000 of payments in crypto. And then, you know how it crashed? I lost it all. And by the way, it's still never fully recovered. And as it was going down, I eventually sold out as it continued to go down because I couldn't risk it anymore. And if I had waited any longer, it would have continued to fall more. Now, of course, it has recovered somewhat, but the truth is it's too volatile. So if you would like to pay for Pokemon cards with Bitcoin, there is a way to do that. There is a way to pay with Bitcoin. So listen, all you got to do is sell your Bitcoin and then just pay with cash. Because if you send me Bitcoin, I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to immediately cash it out because I'm not going to wait to see if it goes up or down. I'm just going to take the cash and spend the cash on something I do trust, Pokemon cards, right? So this will make me money. I'm certain of it because we open it every night. Every single night, I make a little bit of money from these battle styles. I don't want to wait and find out if my Bitcoin goes up or down. I don't want to wait for that. I could put it all in Pokemon cards. I could just literally buy boxes of this all day. I don't even have to open packs for you guys. I could just have a job where I open up Evolving Skies. And I know over a long period of time, I would get a pretty good return on that Evolving Skies. Maybe your Bitcoin goes up in price times 12 this year. It doesn't look like it's going to do that. It looks like Bitcoin's having trouble doubling in price right now. It's not even doing that right now. It's struggling. Could it do it in the future? Maybe it will double eventually. But I think it's fair to say that Bitcoin slowed down significantly since the last year. And maybe it's just a lull on its way to 100,000, right? 100,000, that's what they say. But 100,000, that means if you bought it now, you wouldn't make much more money than a little over doubling. It's not that good. And when it comes to Evolving Skies, I can guarantee you in 1 year, it'll be double the price. I shouldn't say guarantee you. Nothing's guaranteed. But there's a very good chance that it's going to be double the price. So I'm just going to buy Evolving Skies. So if you paid me in crypto, I'm just going to cash it out. And the worst part is, if you did that transaction, there's a transaction fee. There's a huge crypto transaction fee that I don't want you to pay, and I don't want to pay it, right? So just, you know, if you would like to buy some cards, save me that extra step of having to cash it out. Just cash it out yourself, and then you can just buy it. You see what I'm saying? So you can pay with crypto. All you got to do is the thing you got to do with crypto either way. You just got to convert it back into cash, right? You always knew if you wanted to buy anything substantial that you would probably have to turn your crypto back into cash to buy it. So you would just be saving me that step. Also, you make my accounting a lot less complicated when we just use cash, and particularly we just use PayPal. So that makes my accounting a lot less complicated, and the government's not looking at me going, oh, you're doing stuff with crypto? Because we're going to get mad if you don't pay your taxes on the crypto, right? So I don't have to worry about any of that. You can just cash out for me. You can specialize in crypto, but I'm just going to accept cash. Star Wars for Jared. Woolen Pot, just open them. They're not done printing. What? Well, Mr. Jared Centovic, he had me open up 15 EV Heroes already. Hold on. Did he order something else with that order? Maybe that's what happened. Maybe he did. Oh, maybe you ordered the Star Wars packs and you paid for the Star Wars packs. Give me a second. So, Mr. Jared, I didn't see that you sent $50 in. I'm sorry, man. I thought maybe you sent like a penny and that's how you got the message. I didn't realize you had sent an additional $50. So we'll get your Star Wars right after this. Sorry about that. I'm on a little crypto rant. Mustard? We did it! There we go. Not a lot of people today. That's because we started 2.5 hours late, which means we basically started at the end time of our stream, and that's why there's not many people. I wasn't expecting many. I've done this before. Every time we do this, there's not many people. All right, Alan Doan. We'll have more tomorrow because we'll start at the right time. Especially tomorrow's Friday. Ooh, Friday. Maybe we'll even start early tomorrow since I missed some time today. Let's see. If I started 2 hours late today, maybe I'll start 2 hours early. Now do a rant about how good Evos are. Evos are going to the moon! Excuse me. All right. Hiccups there. So, Mr. Jared wanted 5 Star Wars Galaxy 3s. Oh, Jared. Peter Heinz, a new member. Do not say the word crypto around Mr. That's right. I'm crypto crazy. I love talking shit on crypto. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Graveyard shift. Get paid more. What about NFTs? I would be interested to see if we could find something useful for NFTs in the future. Like, I feel like NFTs are more the application side of the concept of like crypto, right? So I'm not open-minded to buying like stupid pictures on the internet that are rare. They're not rare. They're just they've been attached to a unique number. However, the actual software to do that is kind of interesting. So I'd be curious to see what they do with that. I think it could have application in a video game. The only problem is, so far, they haven't shown me anything with NFTs that actually looks useful. And then all these guys trying to get rich in NFTs, buying all these NFTs like, hey, this is the next thing. You better be an early mover FOMO, right? I think that's basically MetaZoo too, by the way, early mover FOMO. You don't want to miss out on being an early mover, so you jump in. So anyways, you know, like the meme pictures that are NFTs and pictures of Pokemons and all that, I'm not down with that. Just because the picture has been attached to a unique number doesn't mean that the image itself has any value or is rare at all. So that's how I feel about that. But, you know, maybe NFTs can be used for some other unusual thing like video games. And I just wouldn't know. Oh, what do we got here? I just wouldn't know what NFTs could do that you couldn't already do with the software program that your video game is built on in the first place. Oh, that's the best card, I think. Damn, check that out. Damn, the Millennial Falcon. Damn, that's so sexy. Look at that in the background. That's the hospital space unit or whatever, airship, right? I can't remember the name of this. That's not their base, right? That's they actually call that like the do they call that the health? I can't remember. That's amazing, man. I hope we pull lots more of those. Millennium Falcon. Millennial. I've been in too many debates. Yeah, well, you're a boomer. Gen Z. The Millennial. Millennial Falcon. Millennium. Wait, am I still saying it wrong? It doesn't sound right in my head. Okay, Nebulon B Medical for Frigate. Frigate. Wait, is it Frigate or Frigate? Mister, are you down to clown? Oh, I'm down like a clown, Charlie Brown. All right, pack number 2. Let's see what you can get. Damn, this guy's looking like a boss. I said Millennial Falcon, and after I said it, it's like, yeah, that's right. Now my brain only wants to say it that way. You ever done that with the word? You say it wrong, and your brain just wants to keep saying it that way, only because you said it wrong once. Okay, there we go. What is this guy doing? Slug my balls, mister. He looks like a slug. Oh, here you go. You got your video game card. Wow. Gen Z Eagle. It's the Gen Z Eagle. That's what we should call it for the sequels. It's the Gen Z Eagle. What are tops? Are they stickers? Topps is a card printing company from a long time ago, and they've printed a lot of cards. Mr. Catching a devious lick. That's right. Hey, we got almost 150 viewers, guys. We got lots of viewers. I don't know what you're talking about. Ooh. Ooh. Oop. Oop. Oh. All right, here, I'll sleeve this up. I'm 2 of the viewers. Oh, James. Guys, I'm starving, man. You guys want to just take a break and watch me eat? I'll turn the camera around. You can watch me eat food. Here we are, first edition. All right. Maybe I'll go get like a little candy or something. I think we have some candy. Okay, but what do I get? The top AMR stream? ASMR stream? Ramen? I do eat a lot of ramen. That is true. Which I've heard is bad for you. I've heard ramen makes you more susceptible to like all the bad stuff like cancer. So I don't know. Maybe I'll die from ramen cancer. I have terminal ramen illness. Man, if you think about it, we'll all get terminally ill one day. So it's so tough to deal with that. We try not to think or talk about it, but it is 100% true. Every single one of us right here, we all have the same destiny. And that is where a lot of grief comes from in the world. A lot of the fighting over resources, right? We're all trying to survive. Life's so brief, drives you to do things, fear. No, Mr. Worrying Me. Don't worry, Alex, I'll start working out. I'll eat fresh food, whole foods. I'll eat raw liver and egg milkshakes and fermented soybeans or something. Oh, take a look at this. So this is another card that is exclusive to this set. It's the holographic card. They didn't have this in Star Wars Galaxy 1 or Star Wars Galaxy 2. And these are real fancy. And I think I read this is where the term holographic comes from, because it is an actually clear card. All right, give me a second. We're having trouble with it. To be honest, the card underneath it could be totally destroyed and I wouldn't care. I just want this one holo. Here we are. Got it. All right, I don't want to touch too much of it. Let's get it into this sleeve. There we go. Hey. Hey, hey, hey. Take a look at that. You can see my fingers behind it, right? How cool is that, guys? Dude. Loving these Star Wars cards. They take a long time to open, though. I'm glad nobody has ordered a whole box of them, because it would take like an hour to get through them. Look at this card. You probably just grade this card just because it looks cool. All right, there we go. So that was for Jared Sentovic. And Mr. Jared, I'd say you did very well. Seems like the material of the card is better than the usual TCG card. I don't know what it's made out of. I couldn't tell you. I'm excited for this too. Man, Jared, if you don't want this, well, I'd offer you a trade, but actually it's a little yucky at the top. That's the challenge with these old cards too. That's not going to grade 10, unfortunately. You can see it's a little yucky at the top. But you know what? If it grades like 7 or something, it's still very cool. And somebody would probably buy it. Or you could keep it in your collection. All right, Jared, let me find your bag. You did well today, Jared. Something going on at the top of the card like it was sticky or something. That happens a lot with these old cards. They were printed before they did card grading, I think. I don't know when card grading officially started. Well, you're not really fitting in there. Be gentle with your bag, right? So we're at oh, I know what we're going to do. We created a new J-Box, didn't we? Because we were so low on room. All right. We've taken care of that. We've taken care of Alan Doan. I'm refreshing. Let's get the slabs refreshed. Here is a Giovanni's Gyarados, and I am so surprised that that has not been snatched up off the table. Here's a Neo Scissor. He's pretty cool. Well, I'd say the neatest card here is the Darmanitan. So this pile has a Darmanitan in it. And this pile I would say probably this Pikachu. PSA 10, Gym Challenge Pikachu. What is this light, man? Oh, it's so annoying. It reflects. Mister, what are your thoughts on BioShock? Oh, it's an amazing game. I played all of them. BioShock 1, 2, and 3. I got my little drink here. Have a drink. Am I still taking slabs for cash from people? You mean buying slabs? I mean, I'll buy slabs. You got to offer me a good deal if you want it cash, though. I got to be honest, because I got a lot of my own slabs to sell. Or if you have a slab that I'm actually after, which is pretty rare, but you might. I have refined pokey tastes. All right. How much was the 9.5 Charizard? $65. What are you after, says Games and Chill? The secret good ones. I'm just kidding. But no, cards that... Well, let me put it like this. So, this Japanese Neo Scissor, he is going up in price, and I really like that about him. I mean, he's a solid card. And I think as the packs get more expensive and as people add this guy to their collection, he'll just continue to go up. That's why he's such a good buy. However, I'm really looking for cards that I'm worried I'll never see again. Cards that will just disappear forever. So I'm you know, because... And that's why I like Rocket Returns so much. You guys saw me go after Rocket Returns for a while, but I'm kind of done with Rocket Returns. And I'm looking at other cards that might really be hard to find ever again, you know what I mean? So, but these are really solid. They just are. Like, this guy, maybe like 2 years ago, he would have been like 80 bucks. The idea that he's 400 now, if you had simply bought a lot of these, you could then sell them off. The thing is, though, if I ever wanted another one of these cards, I could find him. You know, he'll be on the market probably. You'll find somebody selling one. And maybe one day that won't be true. So that's something I've thought about. But for now, it is true. Like, the reason I came up with this price is I found them for sale. So I don't need to hold on to like 4 Neo 2 scissors. That's the other thing. I have multiples of him. I don't need multiples of him. So I'm selling off my duplicates. And yeah, I still have one, but I don't need duplicates. But then there's some cards that I'm worried when they're gone, they're gone. It will be very hard to find them ever again. Does the Yanma have the stamp? Yes, so the Yanma... This is a Rocket Returns Yanma. He's a little pricier at 95. He's going to be a rare card. And I tell you what, I will actually lower his price. I remember the Yanma being hard to find. That's why he's a little pricier. The Yanma does not show up too often. I don't know if there's a reason for that. Here we go. I feel like I run into stuff like the Dark Slow King and stuff like... I run into... Or Hypno or Electrode. But Yanma, I don't know what the deal is with Yanma. He just isn't on the market very often. Same with like Heracross. There's a few cards, you just don't see them. If you buy empty base set boxes, they will price more later. So, Alex, that is an interesting idea. There could be a market for collecting empty vintage boxes, and you probably wouldn't run into too much competition because I don't think a lot of people do it. But then on the other hand, I don't truly know where they're going to cap out at, you know, in terms of value. Are people going to spend $10,000 on an empty box? That's debatable. It is debatable. All right, so I can tell it's a slow night. I don't blame you guys. We started super late, and we don't have as many people watching as a result. Let's see what's next. Maybe we'll just chill out and we can talk about life. After Alan Doan, we have Augustine Espinosa. 2 vintage and those MLP cards. Please give me that Kakuna or Weedle. Lady Luck. Luck be a lady tonight. Do 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 do. Let's see. Luck be a lady tonight. Let's talk about your predictions, mister. I predict that my Weedle will use String Shot. Oh, actually, you know, Mr. Augustine, I don't know if you like Caterpie. There's a really fancy Caterpie in that box, and he was from the vendor sheets. Switch? Hey, look at that. Well, and Sandshrew from base set. All right. Well, that's not too bad. You did get a Kakuna, but not the Kakuna. Now, you also want some MLPs, huh? My Little Ponies. I should get some more My Little Ponies. Friendship is magical. More new hot slabs, says Casey. You guys want more new hot slabs? Sleep. there's potential for that. There's potential for me to work on that. But on the other hand, we're already an hour in, and I may only have the live stream go on for like 2, maybe 3 hours, you know? So it's not going to be it's not going to be like a 5-hour live stream. Chic beret. All right, let's see what we got. Here's Eep. And this guy. Pack number 2. What the? What the? What is this, like, top model? Pony? Common. Okay. Head nurse. All right. They're so expressive. Oh, here we are. Oh, and you pull holographic Chief Thunderhooves. Okay. Very interesting. All right. It's not going to be another 5-hour live stream. Missed her at the start of every 5-hour live stream. Yeah, it feels that way sometimes, doesn't it? Looking for your rare. Go feed. All right, and a damn granny. Boop. The apple cider card. This is the best card. Holy. Why is this card so good? I was looking for that card. All right. That needs to be graded 10. Oh, my Lord. Is that in reverse holo? We need to get that card in a reverse holo and get it to grade 10, because that is the top card. All right, Augustine. I mean, let's be honest. Even if you didn't collect the little ponies, Ponymons, if you got that card reverse holo 10 and said, hey, $100 for this, somebody might actually pay for that and be like, I paid $100 for it. You know what I mean? Why not? Somebody with a little too much cash. Here we are. Good evening from Las Vegas. How are you tonight? Good evening. I'm doing all right. Las Vegas. Isn't that where that one guy who does the eating videos lives? The guy, he started out skinny, now he's big. What's his name? Nick Avocado? I remember his name. God, he's so crazy. He moved to Las Vegas, a fancy high-rise apartment or something like that. All right, who's next? We've got Joseph Dolezal. Can I get 3 Japanese cards and 1 poker card? You sure can. I notice the interest in the poker cards has definitely slowed down. And I feel like that is in part because there are so many fantastic Japanese cards to pull now. It's running into a little competition. Whoop! Another Sandshrew! So cute! Now you also want the Japanese cards. All right, so this is kind of pulling some, drawing some attention and some sales away from the poker cards. That's how it works. Chris Pratt is Mario. Who is Chris Pratt? Sounds like Chris Bratt. All right. I don't know if we'd know if you pulled the vendor card unless we flip the card around, so we won't know. Thoughts on Shiny Star V? You know what? I'm opening my mind to Japanese modern card investing. I'm opening my mind to it. At first, I thought it was a bad idea because there's simply too much product out there, and English speakers will want to primarily collect the English cards. I'm changing my mind. The main reason for that is because of how good the Japanese cards look. I've come to the conclusion that the Japanese cards do look superior to the English cards. And that just kind of like, it sticks with me, you know, kind of, what's the word? Just kind of sticks with me. So I really do actually like the Japanese cards. And it's not just because they released before the English cards. They legitimately look very good. All right, Water Energy, Psychic Energy, and Fighter Energy. Yay! All right, I'll get you one more. I tell you what, if that ever happens on that kind of pull, I'll get you a bonus one, but it cannot be the vendor card. Vendor card's too rare, and I would be taking it from somebody else. So you get a bonus card because you won the lottery by pulling only energies. Joseph pulls Psychic Energy. Yay! That's some tough luck, man. So you're going to take home 4 energy cards. But hey, They're gradable energy cards. All right, Joseph, let me find your bag. That's tough luck, man. It is random. Oh, Joseph. Shoot, where did I last see your stuff? Joseph Dolezal. My brain says to look in a special place. That was pretty brutal. I even got you the bonus card. Here it is. That was 4 energy cards. Your Sandshrew is pretty cute. I'm sorry. How many times can I tell you guys that even the energy cards can be graded? Mr. Japanese Hidden Fates packs. Mr. True. You know, I never messed with those. I've opened them before, but I've never messed with them. I don't know. Mr. is an Asian supremacist. That's right. My grandma was Filipino, and the Filipinos will rule over you all. Filipino supremacy. Oh, having another drink there. Gotta have a lot to drink after you've done a lot of pumping, you know what I mean? So anyways, next up we got George Smith, who says 3 Japanese commons. Oh, George. Maybe you should reduce to 7. Who's reducing? All right, here we go. Win. All right, pulling from the middle. Wow, actually, look at this one. It looks like it has lines in it. Like it's swept across. Yeah, I'm sorry, but this one won't grade 10. What's up with that? Nope, it's just from the base set. Weird. So that must have been a manufacturing issue. It looked like it had been swiped across the table or a rocky surface, but I can assure you that has never happened with this card, not for me. We had 4 energy cards and now double trainers. This time, oh, but that's a rare trainer, look. That's actually good. Bro, that's actually really good. Think about it for a second. So the Professor Oak Imposter, to pull this card, you would have to open up a base set booster pack and pull a rare. Yeah, he looks well centered too. This might be a 10. So I'm going to chalk that up as a win for you. That's for George Smith. I didn't even know he was in there. You pulled a rare out of the box. Remember, the Japanese booster packs, the way they work, they are light and heavy packs. Half of them have hits, half of them have non-holo rares. That's one of those non-holo rares. So what you just pulled there is like the equivalent of the hit spot in a booster pack of Japanese base set. You know how expensive those base set booster packs are? So you guys got to have some perspective. Those Japanese base set booster packs are like $500. They are not cheap, even a little bit. Oh, we're not done. He said 3. I only opened 2. Hold on. 1 more. This is it, George. This is where you strike the vending sheet card. Boop. Metapod. Ah, I can only get so hard. Mom. All right, there you go. Base set Metapod. Yay! So hyped for Fusion, I collect sealed ETBs. Kevin O'Neill, 5 Japanese common uncommons. All right. Who's this for? Kevin O'Neill. Okay. Mr. Kevin. Anything for Mr. Kevin. Quip's parents be like, what the heck is a mom? Very true. Or Mr. Why am I using the... I should be using the deck sleeves on these. Ah, well. Let's keep doing it this way. Now, look, you can see this one. It's got a little white edge down there. That's a pity. I'm sorry, man. Now, these are packed fresh, though, but you know how it is. Even packed fresh cards aren't guaranteed 10s. They kind of have to be nice on top of that. So probably lots of 9s and lots of 10s in here, and a few 8s. Hopefully not too many 8s. What do we got? Coughing from base set, Fire Energy, whatever this was, I don't remember. Fighter Energy and Electric Energy. What is the deal with all the energy cards right now? I'm sorry, mister. Here, I'll tell you what. When you pull 3 energy cards, you get a free card. That's double colorless energy. However, that would actually be an uncommon pull. So these aren't like the energy cards. These are actually a little rare. All right. Woo! Just clearing the box a little bit. That's for Mr. Kevin O'Neill. I'm sorry, Kevin. I'll put your coughing in the front. Do people like double colorless energy? I don't even know. Do people consider it more collectible? Yeah, that's a lot of energies, man. I noticed the trainers are kind of a bummer, too. All right. Mr. Kevin, let me find your bag, Kevin. Oh, let me grab this whole box. Kevin. Oh, Kevin. Kevin. Boop. After Kevin O'Neill, we have Matthew Blaine. He says 4. Vivid Voltage. You got it, Matthew Blaine. Mister, why don't you sleeve them before putting them in the box so you just pull them out? That would take me a really long time. I collect Japanese booster boxes also, says Jack. Nice. Mr. New Hot Slabs. Here you are. You're saying these slabs aren't hot enough? You're enough, Scissor. You're enough, Giovanni Gyarados. Don't listen to him. Let's see what we got. Snip. Did Japanese Neo 2 have a first edition run? They all did, I'm pretty sure. Your stream got me through hard times. Thank you. Man, I hate to hear that anyone has hard times. But you know the hard times make you tougher. I'm glad to hear you made it through, man. Here's Hitmontop. Hard times are always just around the corner. So you got to be ready. I learned that for sure. It does make you tougher when you survive it. You're like, oh, you know what? And then you're not as scared of anything. That's what they mean when they say build character, right? Builds character. And so it's good for you in a way. Mister, have you ever pulled a blank code card? I've not pulled a blank code card. But if I pulled one, I would show it on screen for all the code kids to get the code off of. All right, that's for our friend Matthew Blaine. Mr. Matthew. Matthew Blaine. Does he need a new bag? He says, I've got a bag. All right, we're going to start looking for a Matthew Blaine bag. Can you shuffle? I know how to shuffle cards. Do you know how to shuffle cards? Michael Ebert, Matthew Fowler, Mikey TV, Matthew Blaine, huh? I was in a low place. Now I'm in a better place. I'm glad to hear that. Here's Mitchell, Michael Levia, Matthew, Mark Fisher, Michael, Matthew Preto. I've already used the what? Mitchell Delaney, Manuel. All right. We're going to look over here in the other M box. There's so many M boxes. We love it. Everyone loves all the M boxes. Nathaniel, here we are. We found you, Matthew Blaine. Sorry, Matthew. That took a little while, huh? Welcome back, Mr. Matthew. I don't know if he's still watching. Yeah, I think he made this order tonight. I got quarantined after a holiday and watched your stream with 20 peeps who I got to subscribe to you. Damn, thank you, man. That's a lot of peeps. Yagron says, wow, TheCardconomist channel has over 100,000 subs. That's right. That was my main channel, and it was... I mean, I haven't worked on it for like 2.5 years. Imagine if I'd never done Pokemon, that channel probably could be around 200 to 300,000 subscribers. If I picked up another 100 subscriber each year, that channel could be around 300,000 subs. But I did Pokemon, and Pokemon growth has been really slow. You do not gain as many subscribers opening Pokemon cards. So it is kind of a new thing. I think the community's smaller for sure. Video gaming community is huge, right? Everyone plays games. But not everyone collects Pokemons, that's for sure. All right, next up we got Walberto. He says, hey, mister, I would like to purchase the Charizard slab. You got it. They resent us because we took Mister. I was just talking to them over there about what game they think I ought to play. I got 2 Discords, if you guys didn't know that. I've got 2 Discords, not 1. Mister, they announced new DLC for Monster Hunter Rise. New Monster Hunter Rise DLC? I don't know. I might be done playing that game. Roberto. A.L. Bermudez. I'm sorry, but I just didn't have that much fun with it, to tell you the truth. There we go. Do you play any of the Battlefields? I do not. You know what I do miss, though? I miss Dark Souls a lot. I could see myself replaying Dark Souls 3 to get ready for Elden Ring. Or Bloodborne. I only played Bloodborne one time. You know, whereas with Dark Souls, I played through Dark Souls like 50 times. Edgar Lazarin, he says, Ren Misiel, grab the Zard, and don't forget to hot glue it too. What was there a Zard? Grab the Zard, 25? Oh, grade the Zard. I'm so dumb. So we put it in the donations folder, but you know what, Ren? I'm gonna allow it. Let me go grab it, okay? We put it in the signature folder. But Mr. Rand, you can substitute it anytime you want. And I think that it is a worthwhile card to grade because it's so fantastic. Easily one of the craziest things we ever naturally sliced, randomly sliced, right? All right. Mr. Rand. Someone say Brian? And thank you for the pre-order, by the way, Mr. Rand Misiel. Every pre-order is helping me to get that grading started up. There's all the things we're buying to get it all running. All right. I don't even need to write your name on it. It's got your name down there, so. Boop. You're in, Mr. Rand. Gregory Powers, 2 Dragon Ball Cross Spirits. You got it. I have a bag. It's Gregory. Is that cut? It is. It's sliced in half. Ren Misiel had me cut a pack of Hidden Fates in half. I think it was 20 bucks back then, wasn't it? 20 bucks. And we sliced it in half, and it happened to have the Charizard in it. Exchange of Power. And Videl with all her strength. Whoopah! I think that Charizard had a print line. Maybe we'll have the... you know what we could do, Rand? We could have a cut card qualifier. What do you think? Where the slice in the card does not affect the total overall grade. Bayesian, boo! Sliced. The sliced qualifier. I like it. Your Charizard grades like a 9 with the sliced qualifier. Will you grade the quality of the cut edge? Oh, no. I'm going to send back my lamellos. Mr. Alex, if you did that, I'd allow that because I trust you wouldn't tamper with the card that's going to grade 0 anyways. All right, so this is Gregory Powers. Let's go grab his bag. I think you were up top. Here we are. You know how it is. Alex is going to touch the edges up on that card to make sure it grades high. Sliced LaMelo Ball. All right, there we go. Now we've got Mr. Shahir. I hope he didn't wait too long. He says, I'll take the Spiro slab. Here it is. All right, very nice. You can't say it's 0 till you see it, says James O. That's true. That's true. I have to give it a very careful consideration after it's been sliced in half. Next up, we got Carlos Aguirre. Hey, mister, this is for 10 McDonald's packs. You got it, Carlos. Good luck. I hope you pull the Pikachu. He might still be in here. Pikachu's for days. The McDonald's booster packs continue to be extremely popular. They're pretty cheap. They offer starter Pokemon. They offer a great holographic Pikachu chase card. Charmander, Squirtle, Bulbasaur are also pretty cool. And if you like the other starters from the other generations, then this set overall is just really good. Somebody out there is going to have a complete collection. Boop. Place this down. Where can we donate to your stream setup upgrade? Says Nick G. You guys actually could do that because I am struggling to get the funding to do that. And the reason I'm struggling for that funding is because I'm paying taxes. I'm funding the card grading setup, right? Like buying $10,000 of slabs and all that. And on top of that, I'm just trying to keep this channel running by, you know, resupplying or getting whatever product is needed to continue to have something to offer you guys each night. So there could be a donation for it, but I mean, come on, you guys already, really all you'd have to do to show support is open some cards or buy a slab, I guess. You don't have to just give me a straight donation. You don't got to do that. There's already so many ways to help out. But, you know, then again, if you were to spend $20 on cards, that would not be as good as just donating $20 directly toward buying, like, a new camera. But, yeah, I don't know. All right, here we go. 5 screens. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a cramped little spot over here, so whatever I do has got to be real clever. What do we got? Mr. Carlos Fennekin. Wow, look at that little fox, man. Little fox. Little foxy fox. Boop. Here's Cyndaquil. We're cute little Cyndaquil. I will pay for kitty cam. You need to be able to read more than 2 messages, says Marowak. Yeah, I agree, I think. I'm definitely grading the McDonald's holos I got. So cute. So cute. Okay, we got Totodile. Boop. Oshawott and a non-holo Pikachu behind him. There we go. We have Score Bunny. Are the McDonald's cards with holo bleed gradable and worth any more than non-bleed cards? Well, I mean, when you go to sell the card as a PSA graded card, if you've got a holo bleed on it, I'd probably put that in the title. And I'd probably like reflect it, you know, like, so a lot of them do have the holo bleed in them, but some of them it's stronger than others. And I would try to tilt it to show off the holo bleed because honestly, holo bleed looks great. So I would try to show it off. I think it does make the card more valuable. And if it's gradable, I heard a rumor that somebody sent theirs in to grade and PSA rejected it. I've not sent these in myself, so I do not know if that case is true. Of course, we're all still waiting for PSA to actually open up. Come on, PSA. We got Cyndaquil. Snee! You think there needs to be a change in how long cards can sit at the house, lost and found bags, big bags, etc.? You know, I got some bags that have been over here for well over a year. And I think after all the PSA bulk returns come in, I will have a little grace period. And at some point, I'm going to start confiscating the cards. To tell you the truth, the majority of the abandoned bags, I've looked at them. They don't have anything in them. That's the truth. They got like, you know, a GX, maybe like a full art, but it's not even like Stunfisk, you know, some undesirable. So almost all of the bags that appear to actually be abandoned, all of the real bad bags, they got like 5 holos and a GX in it. They don't have anything impressive in them. So there might be a point, I might pick a month, maybe like in March of next year, where the oldest bags all start getting confiscated. Because I think some people, they might have actually left the hobby. Or, oh, there's Pikachu. Damn. And by the way, take a look at that, huh? So he does have plenty of holo bleed. Great pull, man. But those would only be the absolute oldest bags. I wouldn't touch any other bags. You know, I don't want to have to deal with like searching for a bag that got confiscated and then telling somebody, oh yeah, oops, I took your cards, you know. So I have no interest in doing that, and it doesn't cost me anything to hold on to them. So they go into a box, they sit on a shelf over there, and I don't think about them. But the boxes keep getting larger, that's for sure, because I think for every like 100 bags that get shipped out, there might be like one guy who's like, I don't care. Why did I even do this? You know what I mean? So I think for some people, the idea of opening cards online, it was fun, it was novel, but they don't really care that they pulled anything. They were just trying it out. I think that's actually what happens in some cases. Or maybe they get pulls and they're like, I don't care about these pulls. They suck. You know, so then they move on. And, you know, they have to request shipping. That's all they have to do. But I think what happens is when the pulls are really bad, they're like, I'm not even going to bother. So, who's next? We opened this for Carlos Aguirre. Let's find his bag. So, Carlos, he pulled a lovely holographic Pikachu. Pikachu never gets abandoned. When people pull a nice card, that bag always gets shipped out. The bags that actually get abandoned are all the trashy ones. All right. Oh, we'll grab all of them. You should auction off the old bags. Yeah, I've heard people say that, but that I guarantee you that will never happen. That will not happen. I think a lot of people are thinking, hey, it's like an abandoned property or something like that. You know what I mean? This is my chance to get in and get good with this abandoned property. It won't be treated that way. And the majority of bags, again, that actually get abandoned don't really have anything in them. Mr. Will signed cards grade. Maybe estimate the value of the cards and write down store credit for them in case they return. Nick, that is not a bad idea. I think what I could do is I could create a video. That is a great idea, actually. I could create a video, and then I would just show each bag that's getting confiscated and treated as truly abandoned. And then if they ever contacted me, I could go look that video. It'll be a private video. I could go look that video up and see if their name was on that list. Nick says, I win! Next up, we got John Peril. He says 2 Opus. Oh, 2 Opus 1. I thought he said 2 Opus I, mister. Uh-oh. I might only have one. So I've got one. I got another box, but let me make sure I don't want to just keep that sealed. So there's another box of Opus 1. Let me see if I've got any saved, because I kind of want to save some. Yeah, okay, we're good. The truth is, I really like Final Fantasy cards, and I want to have a few sealed boxes of Opus 1 for box investing. All right. What is this plastic bag it's in? All right, there we go. Opus 1, Opa! Ooh. Oops. Will you grade signed cards for encapsulation like signatures from the voice actors on the card? Ooh. Probably not. That is something to do in the future, not today. Probably will not start out that way. That is also a great question, because I have no way to know how to verify I've seen them do it on Pawn Stars, kind of. They have like an expert come in, and he has like a camera, and he zooms in, and he has like a knowledge of all the past signatures from a particular person. So I'm guessing they have like a database where they took lots and lots of close-up images of the signature, and then they compare signatures, which I think actually still leaves you open to, you know, counterfeits. So I'm not sure. But, you know, actually, if you could, I tell you what, if you had some sort of, we were using this word yesterday, if you had some sort of, oh, what's the word? Not shoot, I've forgotten the word. Provenance? Providence? Hold on, let me change this music. This music's terrible. What was the word we were using yesterday? There we go, I changed the music. And the word talked about being able to prove the history of something. So if you had a video, the secret rare Frieza arm, any Histonite, if you had a video that you could use to confirm the signature, then maybe we could do it then. Like, if you could show, like, the unique figure on the card and then get the video of the person actually signing it. Provenance. So it is provenance. Thank you, yes. So yeah, if you had some really good provenance from a video you took, we could probably still get that graded, sure. Chaos? Prostitution, that is the word. Ooh, Kokobo. And Leviathan. Terra. Cloud of Darkness. Cloud of Boobs is what it looks like to me. Pizza Dance. If you could give me some Pizza Dance, we could definitely confirm the signature. Do you have any graded shadowless graded cards? Graded shadowless graded cards. Yes, I've had some shadowless base set common and commons for a while now. Terra. Yeah, I don't have a lot of experience with how card grading works when it comes to signatures. What would your grade pricings be? Good question. Right now it's $25 a card, and that's the pre-order, and you get a special label for that. The label will have a special, it will have a, what was the other word? A pedigree to it, and the pedigree will be that it was a pre-order, right? So it'll have a pedigree. And then after that, that's a good question. I think it comes down to, it's going to come down to how big the demand is and how busy I am. So let's say the card grading officially opens, you know in your mind that you could hire me to grade your card and it'd be graded like that, like in a day. If it was any other company, if you were getting 1 day grading, it would cost astronomical amounts. But it might still be around $25 with me. But then, if the demand is like, yeah, grade every single card in my bag, and I ended up with like 40 cards to grade a night, I would say the price would have to go up because I couldn't handle that, and I'd be trying to slow down the demand. So demand will play a large role. And then also another thing that might play a role is whether or not my wife gets into card grading. She's interested in it. She's telling me she's genuinely interested in maybe learning how to grade cards and doing that as a profession rather than software engineering, which I told her you might make less money. But she's like, I don't care. You know, she's kind of interested because it seems more fun than coding, apparently, you know, grading cards does. So she's interested in it herself. And and if she's able to do that, if she wants to do it, and I can train her how to grade cards pretty effectively, it might come down. It might become cheaper because now we might be trying to pull in more orders, right? So it's to be determined for sure. Just say 1 week grading turnaround and you'll get flooded. Well, that's to be seen. You guys have to see the final product before you actually decide if you even want it, to be honest. And even if you get TCC grading, you're going to have to imagine how well this is going to sell if I go to sell it. Like, am I going to make the value of the raw card back and $25 if it's $25 per grade? So, all right. All of these wonderful cards were open for our good friend, John Peril, right? John Peril. Mr. John, let's find your bag. Here we are. Oh, Mr. John. Boop. Do you have a shadowless hollow magneton? I have no idea. Next up, we've got another order for John Peril, 2 live custom boosters. So, Mr. John, these are exactly where we left off yesterday. They have not been touched at all. Let's see where we're at. 1 and 2. Well, you pull a little Sandshrew. That's kind of nice. Base set Sandshrew from 1999. But I'm afraid these are cold. Cold boosters. John, I think you were the first one to order live customs. Definitely, live customs have slowed down a bit. And I think that those Japanese common and commons have something to do with that. Those have been really popular. George Smith says 1 more Japanese common. You got it, George? All right, George, you pull. Oh, base set Caterpie. And George Smith is right here. Boop. An interesting idea might be to have some way to identify the grader who graded the card. I thought about that. I think other companies could do that all day as well, so they don't, and that makes me wonder why. But maybe there'll be a little qualifier on a pedigree on the card when I grade it, so that you know it's been graded by me. Anthony Deloa, he says, TCC, will you be selling ETB booster packs from Celebrations? 10 battle styles, please. You got it. I will definitely be selling ETB booster packs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sounds like a good way for an angry customer to track down the grader in real life and do something bad. Nah, I mean, I don't think that happens. That doesn't really happen. I mean, if I do a misgrade, so let's say I give you a card a 10, and then you find like a little dot on the card, and you're like, hey, that shouldn't be a 10. Then you could go around and say, TCC sucks at grading! Did you ever work for a large grading company? I did, for years. No, I'm just kidding, I never did. Sneeps. Boop. I had somebody mad at me because I'd never worked for a grading company. They're like, oh, you can't grade cards because you're not certified. Well, what do you think the guys who started those companies did? You think they were certified? Or were they just guys who liked cards? You know what I mean? So it's an interesting thing. It's like saying you can't join the aristocracy because you don't have the royal bloodline. Well, what was there before any royal bloodlines existed, before any kings or queens? You know, somebody had to get into that position at some point. Well, I'm not saying you're telling me that. Here's a shadowless Magnemite. I'm just saying there were people. I did hear people talking that way. I was like, ah, geez. Vulpix. Aliens. If we ever buy an ETB of packs or something, could we get the promo too? Yeah, that's probably what'll happen, unless it's like a super valuable ETB. Oh, I'm sorry. No, not even in that case. Like, so even if it was really valuable, you would definitely get it if you bought all 10. Here we go. But it's also a little bit of a demand thing. Like when Champion's Path first came out, the demand was astronomical. And I could raise my prices, but if I did, if I raised them any higher than they already were, you know, I'm going to be blasted for it. But the demand for those were shocking. It was disgusting how bad and how much people were willing to pay for those Champion's Path packs. And so one of the things I did back then, I was like, all right, I'm not going to raise the price, but I'm definitely keeping the Charizard in this case. And people were mad about that too. They're like, oh, and he keeps the Charizard? But I don't think that'll happen with Celebrations. I don't think it will. And I'll try to stock up on them so that we don't run into that problem. Bouffalant. It is difficult. It can be difficult sourcing a lot of cards. It's tricky because you actually have to do... One of the things you guys don't think about for a job like this, when you order a lot of cards, you have to make sure they actually arrive. So you have to create a list of the cards that you're expecting to receive. And then once they receive, you check them in. And you have to do this because if you don't, you could make like $1,000 purchase of cards, and that person who does the shipping, they could forget to ship it to you, or maybe they intentionally don't ship it to you. I don't know. And they could actually get away with that if you don't keep track and ensure that every single thing comes in. And so that's part of my job every day. I have to track all of my purchases and ensure that none of them get missed. And the thing is, they do get missed. Sometimes something never arrives and I have to go contest it and be like, you never shipped this. So especially because of the volume of cards we order, it happens like once or twice a month. And it's a ton of money. All right, Mr. Anthony. Anthony, let's grab your bag. It's a ton of money if you put in like a $1,200 order for like a case or case and a half of boosters, and then they don't even ship it because, I don't know, they got too many orders themselves and they forgot about it. You have so much potential to lose money. So receiving is a big part of the job. Giovanni Bonaire says 6 EV Heroes. You got it. Oh, Mr. Giovanni. And he says, I need 1 Opus 1. I need that cloud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think it's really great that people have caught on to the Final Fantasy cards. They're very cool. So you saw that fresh box come out. Maybe a cloud will be in here. Who knows? I don't think the last box was very good. You're looking forward to the Lily cards. Imagine if that Lily card that Mary has was in Celebrations. Still taking orders? I sure am. We're only 100 minutes in. Go for it, mister. It appears like we're really late at night, but I started late. I started super late. Tammy says, last box with meh. Yeah, I don't even think I don't think I saw like one crazy card come out of there. 2. Here's Sylveon. Whee! Joe Biden protects my Poke orders, mister. Thank you, Joe. Oh, Joe. Here's Vaporeon. I implore you to reconsider. Will you get Ultra Premium Collection Celebrations? I guess. I'll get the Ultra Premium Super D-Duper Premium cards. Mister, for your next box break, to get more accurate answers, you can make an online poll with a few boxes you have in mind and then pick the top one. Oh, let's talk about that real fast. You guys want to know what he's talking about? So I know there's only 130 of you guys here, and a lot of you guys probably already are on the Discord. But we have over here, it's called The Next Box Break. Click. And, oops, let me zoom out now. So in the next box break, you guys can decide what box you want to see the most. You can see a bunch of box names and a bunch of upvotes and downvotes. If you head over there and vote, I'm reading that channel, I'm watching it, and you can really play a dramatic role in helping me decide what's popular. So I'm going to look at that, and it's going to help me know what people want to watch and what people want to open up, and that's going to help me decide what you guys want. So be serious about it. Take it seriously. What do we got here? We got Aerith. Cloud. Ooh. Oh, you got something back there. What could that be? Oh, it's Jessie. Jessie's special, huh? Interesting. Warrior of Light. Sephiroth. Very good. I don't know what that is. Here's something called Layla. Layla. Celebration set list leaked. Evolving Skies break. Mister, will you be having upcharges in your grading company? Ooh, good question. I really would not like to, because I feel like they're so silly. Going back to your customer and demanding that they pay more is such a silly thing, and PSA does that quite a lot. Actually, I've had CGC have it. They've done it as well. So maybe when I start actually operating the card grading at a larger scale, because I assume that'll happen one day, maybe then we'll start doing upcharges. But early on, I can't imagine that'll happen. And early on, I'll probably even try to recommend, like, if you say, hey, grade my so-and-so, I'll probably be like, I don't think that's going to grade 10. So I'll probably help you try and avoid grading cards that don't need to be graded. But, it's always also going to be fishy looking. It's going to be fishy looking if only 10s come out, Isn't that funny? Mister, you should do down charges. Hey, man, love the streams. Question, is there an easy way to check for prices? How's it going, Trust? Yeah, you'll check the description of the live stream. Do the upcharges help with the loss in postage? What? I don't know what you mean by that. So, let's see. That was for our good friend, Mr. Giovanni. Giovanni. Let's find your bag. Here we are. You got Red Mage. He's looking a little sussy. He's looking like a little sussy baka, if you ask me. Boop. Joe Biden looks like he's aging every day. Yeah, actually, I was on TikTok today. I wasn't really watching the news today, but I ran into this TikTok where he was talking with the president of the UK, the Prime Minister, there we go, Mr. Boris, and they chased all of the media out of the room all of a sudden in the middle of Mr. Boris's sentence. And it seemed almost like what they were doing was they were getting rid of the media because Joe Biden either looked like he was falling asleep, which it didn't look like that. But I was wondering if maybe it was more like Boris was saying something that maybe he like went off script or something like that. And they didn't want to have the media have a chance to get Joe Biden's response. I don't know. It was really crazy looking. It looked like Joe Biden didn't run the show. You know what I mean? All right. Who's sneeping the live custom? Oh, I'm sneeping it, mister. I can't believe you opened cards for the Team Rocket boss. I do. Isn't that crazy? Joe Biden probably had a code brown, mister. Yeah, something. Could have been I don't know what happened, but they chased the media out of the room so fast. Is China winning? There's a TikTok trend right now where people say kind of like pro-Chinese propaganda, and then the comment section will be like, "Good job, bro. 50 social credit, 50 social Chinese credit." So it's a interesting humor. They'll be like, "Taiwan doesn't countries that don't exist," and then they'll say like Wakanda or something like that, and then the second country will be like Taiwan, and then it'll be like, "Yay!" You know, they'll be like shouting and applauding, and the comment section will be all like 50 social credit. Good job, brother. I don't think Joe Biden knows he's the president. Mister, can we get Shrek packs? How can you tell if an energy is shadowless or not? Your guess is as good as mine, man. I didn't know it was shadowless. I just sent it in. That's it. That is it. I just sent it in. It might have something to do with the information down at the bottom of the card. Maybe it has something to do with like the sides here. I guess to figure out, I'd need to go get a regular base set energy and compare them. But yeah, I never cared about the energies, so I never learned. I never cared about defining them as shadowless or not. Either way, if it looks like it's going to grade 10, it's going in. Can we get a president that isn't old as hell? Mister, what would you like to open for the next box break? Your thoughts. I want to open up the thing that people are most interested in so that I'm sort of like serving your guys' interests. So for me, it's all fun. I don't mind. And I'm happy to see anything. However, I do recommend sticking to... I don't like black and white and diamond pearl and leaf green. All those are like really expensive. So I think that a real good set to open would be like Ancient Origins right now still. Ancient Origins, in my opinion, is still really good. All right, I'm refreshing, and I need to hurry up with that. Why don't we get some more slabs on the table, huh? Where's Casey? He likes slabs. All right. I'm just going to grab a chunk. I got a chunk of slabs. This is from my pile of slabs that are not going to be 10s. These are just 9s and lower. Where'd I put my sleeves? Here they are. So I have my slabs sorted, and normally the way this goes, we put a number of 9s on the table, we put a number of like 6s, we put a number of 10s on the table, but this is just from the pile of 9s and lower. Here's a Magnemite Topsun. He only graded 9, sadly. Cool looking card though. And Magneton. It's really interesting. They actually had a PSA slab just for this card, huh? Pretty cool. Gust of Wind Shadowless 8. That's like a $25 card. Fire Energy 7. Maybe like 35. Shadowless Energy 8. Couldn't tell you that one. Gust of Wind 7. Again, probably like 25 bucks. Dark Dugtrio, first edition. I don't know. 35, 40 for that one, maybe? Ah, PSA 9 Dark Hypno, first edition. That's nice. So this is a card where I'd need to go research the price a little bit, make sure that I'm close to the market price. Here is a Charizard Holo Fall 19 Collection Chest. Sun and Moon 226. Sadly, this only graded 9. Okay. Lots of 9s. I think PSA's grading standard got a little stricter. Here is a Pop Series 4 Mew from 2006. I'm assuming this is like a crazy rare card. This is one of those cards you just don't see a lot of. People weren't collecting at that time. So that's a weird card. Where did I even get this? Here's a Neo Revelation Suicune First Edition. PSA 9. That's pretty collectible. First Edition 9. I mean, somebody will buy that. Here is a non-holo Mew Promo Black Star. It's the non-holo version, and it is a 9. Emperor Palpatine. Here's Fossil Magneton non-holo Unlimited. Who knows what that's worth? Like, maybe it's a 9, so maybe like 40. First edition, Dark Magneton 5. Dear Lord. Maybe like 30, 35. So these are all cheap. Here's a holographic. Damn, that looks sexy. Dark Magneton Team Rocket. He is properly worn out, so that's why he got the 6. Damn, he's fancy, though. I love this card. Another one, but this one graded 7. Okay. Here is a lovely holographic Caterpie from Expedition. It only graded 6. What caused it to only grade 6? Now, these confuse me, because these came out of booster packs that were already open, but there wasn't, like, anything wrong with them. Crazy. They must have found something they don't like. How about that? Look at that. Aquapolis Togepi 8. Damn, that's cool as hell. I like this card a lot. Okay. We have, this is going to be pretty expensive, actually. This is Red Cheeks Pikachu Shadowless 8. Probably going to be over 100. So that one will be a little pricey. If I had to guess, probably over 100 because it's a Red Cheeks Pikachu. And here's another one. Also graded 8. Same deal, Red Cheeks. Okay. And here's another one. Also Red Cheeks, graded 7. This will be a little cheaper than the other two. Here is a Charmander from 1999. Just a PSA 7 Charmander. Probably pretty cheap. Could be about 40 to 50 bucks if I had to guess. Shadowless Bulbasaur. All right, I really like him. And you know, these Shadowless cards here, I like to put those into the live customs because I think that they're kind of on the cheap side, but at the same time, they're very cool. So I like that when it comes to the live custom booster box because it means that you get more frequent hits in the box, and yet the person pulling the card is still pretty happy. Shadowless Arcanine. Okay, Shadowless Arcanine. And look at this. PSA 9 Dratini. So I had 2 out of the 29s. Crazy. 2 out of the 29s. Well, with the Dratini, I already know what to price the Dratini at. So the other one was $214. This one's going to be slightly more expensive at $220. I kind of miss Trump. He used to send me stimmies. Oh, Trump. We're in the era of simping for Trump. There's quite a lot of people saying, you know, like, I regret voting for Biden, or we need Trump back. Of course, you might be a conservative if you said that. So maybe, I'm sure there's plenty of Democrats who are still like, good riddance. He sucked. Put these sleeves away. Trump's a racist. I hate him. All right. Lots of cards there. Look at that. Now the table feels all filled up again. I remember scandal after scandal would come out about Donald Trump. Like, he slept with Stormy Daniels. And nobody would care except for, like, the Democrats. Which was a weird thing because the Democrats were always kind of like the very sexual party, you know? They're all like, anything goes. It was the conservatives who are all like moral and Christian values. But, you know, once they had Donald Trump, they're like, we don't care. Good for him. You know, like, they weren't that upset. He's doing the Lord's work now. He's a changed man. So let's see where we're at, guys. We had George Smith, Anthony DeLoa, Giovanni Bonaire. Now we have Pete Heinz. What's up, Pete? He wants 2 live custom booster packs and 4 battle styles. You got it, Pete. Trimp. We got Hitmonchan and Timpole. This is Pokemon design now, huh? I don't know about that. I'm sorry, Mr. Pete. Those are 2 cold live custom boosters. He also wants 4 battle styles. You got it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Aha. Have kids, get Stimmy every month, says Lewis Sweet. That's right. That's right. Why would you go back to work when there's so many welfare opportunities now? Now you're going to have to question Does this job pay enough? I guess not. And then you'll not have to go back to work, I suppose. Here's Glam Meow and Cricketoon. But, you know, our government can afford that, right? It's not like our government's in the most horrifying amount of debt it's ever been in. So large that the debt's larger than our GDP by like 150%, right? That's not true. We happen to have a surplus, and so we can just help it. Oh, we don't have a surplus? We're just spending money we don't got? That's too bad. We got Scroll of Scorn. That kid stimmy comes out of next year's taxes, though. Told ya the market is going to crash. Told ya. What would you do if someone owed you 29 trillion? I'd be like, bro, pay up. We don't have money laying around in giant bags of cash in the government. They just print it and they tax it and then they hand it to you, and then you definitely spend it very carefully. You're very frugal, I can tell. Americans are known for their frugality. So, Mr. Pete, new bag for you, Mr. Pete? Let's see. I'll move this over here. We are borrowing the money from China, then going to go to war with them to clear the debt. Well, that's not even true. First of all, China does not have that large of a fraction of the United States debt. Did you know that? That's not true. And China is not buying our debt. Countries aren't really buying our debt too much right now. What's really happening is we are allowing the Federal Reserve to give us that money and go into debt with ourselves. But what that causes is for there to be a lot more dollars in circulation. And then all of a sudden, that bonus $1,400 you got doesn't really matter because you spend about an extra $1,400 in a year on food. So it's not like you really received $1,400. That's because there's no such thing as free money. Germany hyperinflation incoming. Quick! Stock up on the Pokemons. Pokemon cards are a hedge against inflation. All right, Mr. Pete, I'm getting you a brand new bag. Nice to meet you, Pete. There's already a lot of money in circulation. It's just being held onto by the rich. Not true at all, actually. In fact, it's the opposite of that. See, and this just shows, I think people really don't understand things. The rich don't hold on to money. The rich hold on to debt. They borrow money from the government so that they can buy real assets like land, factories, stocks in companies around the world, not just American companies. So they borrow money from the government. They go into debt. The really rich people have negative money, but they have a lot of stuff. So rich people have a lot of stuff that's going up in value. They don't hold on to cash. They'd be silly to hold on to cash. And you should too. You should have stuff, not money. And by stuff, I mean stuff that goes up in value. All right, next up we got Sean Leon. I'm actually after that Yanma. That's funny. May I have it and live shipping? I have a small bag and 3 slabs. You got it. Yanma. TCC grading to the moon. It's not so much negative. They just keep a very small reserve while leveraging the rest. Right. I mean, yeah, there's guys like Warren Buffett who keep cash on hand, but that's because they're waiting to buy something with that cash. But you're right. They don't keep 100% of it in stuff. And then again, some of them probably do. It just depends on who we're talking about. Sean Leon. Here you go, Sean. Cash is still an asset position. I agree. You could hold on to cash. Because if you had a bunch of gold and then the stock market crashed, it could be that everyone tries to sell their gold. And that gold does not go up in value like everyone claims it will. Same with Bitcoins. People might actually try to sell their Bitcoin so that they can go buy things that can only be purchased with cash. It'll go to the moon. So many predictions, man. People love to predict. I love to predict. It's fun. Yeah, holding on to cash isn't necessarily going to destroy you. If you got too much of it and you sit on it for too long, you start to lose some of it, though. All right. Inflation isn't worth keeping too much cash right now. All cash does is lose value. Right. And what it's really losing is purchasing power. So while your cash sits around in your pocket, the price of stocks are soaring. So if you wait to buy the stock, you could find that the stock is really, really expensive and that you can't really get the same deal you could have had 2 months ago. But if you're expecting for a recession to occur quite soon, then you'll still be fine because you're like, yeah, I know it's high, but it's going to crash, right? So that's what you're kind of saying. You're saying, I've got my cash position, the price of housing and everything else, it's going to explode. And that's because we're going to hit a recession and people are going to be forced to sell out of their positions in order to cover their debts. So that's what they're hoping for. But will that actually happen when we have socialist Democrats in charge of the government and the Federal Reserve? Good question. I don't know. It is really a $1 million question. It is really hard to tell, actually. Here you go, Sean. And Sean, I'll pick up the rest of your slabs when it is your turn to be packaged. I'm going to put this over here. Lewis says, oof, this is deep. It's actually not that deep, but, you know, you don't learn it in school, sadly. If you did, you'd be a lot more concerned about money. Caleb Carvo says, 2 Evo Skies. You got it. They don't teach you. They don't teach you that you're basically not free in America. You don't have freedom as long as there's a Federal Reserve that can just, you know, print what willy-nilly amounts of money, and the government's not responsible for only spending what it has. But there's people who argue that that's a good thing, that the government can spend more than it has because, oh, well, they'll stimulate the economy when there's problems, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like a philosophy. Do you believe in strictly the free hand and the invisible hand of the market and capitalists having to save up their money? And, you know, you get punished if you don't save some money up, right? So the people who, when they over leverage, they get punished when there's a recession. Do you believe in that, or do you believe in this new sort of like, what do they call it? Modern something. I can't remember the name of it. Modern currency theory. I can't remember the name of it. But it's such a silly. In my opinion, it doesn't work. It's basically this idea that you can just print an infinite amount of money as long as you have a strong military. That's their idea. They can just print as much as they want. Hey, nothing matters. We got a big, strong military. What they gonna do about it, man? What you gonna do about it? We got the military. Modern economic theory, is that what it's called? I don't know if it's called modern economic theory. Gold standard was out decades ago. No, bring it back. Yeah, I don't know what to think about it all. The money system's so fricked up, they shouldn't be able to keep printing money out of thin air. It's a tax. It's a tax, and you didn't vote for this. You didn't vote for this. Of course, you know, the people who probably did vote for the politicians who are printing like this, they probably don't even understand what's going on. They're probably like, yeah, give me some stimmies, man. I need some stimmies. But then at the end of the year, you've spent $1,400 extra on food. You didn't get stimulated. There's no such thing. Got me some stimmies. Invest in IT cloud services? You're welcome, says Slasho. I'm just going to follow Nancy Pelosi and invest in what she's investing in. We're going to go ahead and slip this in a sleeve. Give me some of them stimmies. It's kind of scary, man. We get the stimulus checks and it wrecks us, even though we don't notice it right away. But you know who really benefits from it? All these corporations who are holding on to huge amounts of debt. The debt isn't worth as much because so much money's been printed. And then you go and buy all their products. So the corporations love money printing. And maybe that's why we've seen, you know, how is the left not caught on that the corporations are on their side? That doesn't creep you out? Aren't the bad guys the corporations? Back in the 90s and the early 2000s, the corporations were the evil enemy of the left. Now they're on the same team. What happened? Is it not clicking? Are you not catching on? So they've figured out that, hey, we can take on huge amounts of debt, buy up all the assets, and then have the government issue money that'll be handed to the ultra poor, and they'll go buy all our products. We'll get crazy rich. And the person who gets gutted is the guy, the middle America. They get gutted. You basically become dependent on stimulus checks too, because you don't have any purchasing power anymore. So you're going to need stimulus checks next. It's sort of like It's basically central planning is what it is. It's like a weird kind of central planning. And I think I've heard a term used for it called corporatism. I've also heard another term called crony capitalism. So, Mr. Caleb, let's get this into your bag. Oh, Caleb, what am I talking about? Talking about stuff? Oh, Caleb. Sweet, sweet Caleb. I would never. Let's find your bag, though. Here it is. My body, my choice, but only when it's convenient. Hey, man, I'm all for people destroying their own bloodlines. If they want to get rid of their babies, let them. I am not pro-life. I've never really felt like it wasn't murder, though. Like, to me, it's always been about murder. And they say stuff like, hey, a tree seed is not a tree, right? So that's their sort of simplified philosophical argument about abortion. A seed is not a tree. But, the whole point of getting rid of the fetus is to make sure it doesn't turn into a human. So, it's kind of like indirect, you know what I mean? It's in the plane. It's the same idea. You only care about aborting it because it's going to be a baby, like with the certainty to it. There's a certainty. So, but I've never cared. Chop those babies up, man. You don't need babies if you don't value babies, I guess. But yeah, I think they kind of exit the gene pool if they do that. And hey, that's what they want to do. Let them. You could educate them on those kind of concepts, though. I bet nobody ever talked to them and said, do you know you're leaving the gene pool when you kill your own kids? But it's like, they're like, I don't know, man. They went out and they had a baby mistake. Next up, we got Paul Baldwin, 3 Japanese common uncommons. Pro-life people only care about the fetus until it's a baby. I hear that over and over and over again. That's a very common argument. Pro-life people, they don't. Here's how it sounds in my ears, though. So I'm a conservative myself, even though I'm pro-choice. I would call myself something like an atheist conservative. That would probably describe me pretty well. And eat them babies up if you don't want them. But when you say stuff like, oh, they don't care about the baby once it's born, I think that's unfair characterization of conservatives, as if conservatives are all these cold-blooded lizard people who have no heart, no sense of charity, no sense of society, no social contract. I think that conservatives like to keep low taxes because they don't want the government having central planning for our lives. And they don't want the government wasting huge amounts of money on things that don't matter. But the real reason that it sounds so bad in your ears as a conservative when they say you only care about the baby when it's a fetus, it sounds bad because it sounds like a socialist argument. Because you're basically saying, oh yeah, well, if I'm going to have my baby, you should have to pay for it too. It's like, what are you talking about? I didn't make the baby. And the conservative argument for pro-life, the argument has to do with whether or not you should be allowed to murder a baby. And that's really where the left and the right disagree. They disagree on whether or not it's a baby, right? But you have to remember that's what your opponent believes. They believe you're murdering something. You're murdering a baby. It's not about money. But then you're also going to make this socialist argument. You should have to pay for it when it's born. And the conservative's going to say, well, I didn't make that baby. You made it. What do we got? Ooh, Rhyhorn. And Growlithe. Ruff. 70% of conservatives and Democrats are regular, normal, good people. The 30% is so large that it warps our perception. Nuh-uh, man. It's 50-50. Mister, how much is a Togepi slab? Good question. I don't have a price for that Togepi slab. Go ahead and hit play on that. And so this was for our friend, Paul Baldwin. He wants 2 poker cards as well. You ready, Paul? It's fun to talk about, so I hope I'm not triggering anyone too much. I love talking about these subjects. But yeah, I can tell you why that argument never really works on a conservative. I think it's more like preaching to the choir within your own side. So you're all, high-fiving and saying, yeah, they don't even like socialism. And the conservatives are over there going, yeah, we don't like socialism. You're right. It's like, I don't really know what the argument's meant to make the conservative feel like, oh, well, now I definitely feel guilty, like I must take care of your children for you. Oh, Smeargle. I'm triggered. Pidgeot. Mr. Paul Baldwin. I think that conservatives make a mistake trying to get involved in the baby murdering of others. I don't think it's really their place. I think the whole my body, my choice, sure, just go for it, man. And, you know, the gene pool will sort everything out over time. So it's like they want to have one kid, maybe none. And it's like, let them just, you know, it's a self-correcting issue is the way I see it. It's a self-correcting issue. So Mr. Paul says he has a bag, huh? I bet you're over here, Paul. Hold on, I missed it. Did someone say Togepi slab? I got a Togepi slab. Here's Pierre, Randy, Peter Withrow. It's a self-fixing issue. No need to direct anything about it. Paul Baldwin, where did I see you last, man? 100 TCC social credit points. They use fascism to silence the speech of those they don't agree with. I'm going to fight fascism with fascism. Seems legit. Oh, here you are. You're right here, Paul. Paul, I'm going crazy. Your bag's like literally touching me. I'm so silly. Mr. Paul. Yay! And Giovanni Bonaire, hold on. You got 2 bags. What? He got 2 bags. What is this all about? How did that happen? Okay. But you know, a lot of the pro-life arguments, really, they come from religion, in my opinion. Like, you could make scientific arguments to say that the fetus is strictly a baby. But, you know, I think without religion, you don't even have a way to argue that life is precious in the first place. So it's like, so what? Kill the babies. You know what I mean? So that's the struggle, I think, that conservatives face, is that without their religion, how do you argue not to kill children even? You know what I mean? And people will say, oh, well, it's decency. No, no, no. When you're a moral subjectivist, there's no such thing as decency. Decency is whatever's convenient for me. We can redefine decency. That's the whole concept of subjectivity. Caleb Carvo says, I sent an extra 10 in the last payment. Add this to it and make it a live booster. You got it, Caleb? Mr. Caleb. Oops, I grabbed 2. Boop. Ah, Caleb, I'm sorry. That's a swoobat. Can you make a rhyme, mister? I can make a rhyme on a dime. There you go. Rhymes for days. I guess I was a poet and I didn't even realize it. You want flying cars? Yeah, you'd think we'd have flying cars by now. We don't even have fully self-driving cars yet because very few people have them, and I think they're limited to certain areas. All right, let me reset the musics. Eating up some babies. We got Pete Heinz. He wants live shipping. You got it, Pete? Mister, I want to buy it, mister. We're going to have helicopter taxis in my country. Really? That's cool, man. I'm moving. I'm headed right over. I'm going to see these helicopters. I was promised flying cars in Back to the Future 2. There are a lot of people who can't even drive a car. I don't dare want them flying a car. His real name is Clarence. That's true. My real name is Clarence. All right, Mr. Pete. Mr. Pete, who loves to smell feet. Let's see. Hey, you got a really light bag. Was this it, Pete? Was it just this? If this is it, we're going to get you some very cheap shipping with no tracking number. All right, print. Can I get my other purchases tonight included in my live shipment? Oh, your other purchases. What other purchases? You got more cards coming in? I believe you can, Mr. Pete. I believe you can, yes. Let's see. Yes, you should still have time. Next up, we got Caleb Carvo. My math is so bad. This is to cover the extra 2 from the total of my last 2 messages and an extra $1 for the trouble. Thank you so much, Caleb. Jeremy Saturn. Saturn? I don't know. That's a sus last name, man. Kane says, mister, if you live in Australia, I'm in Australia, mate. You don't need a self-driving car because you're not allowed to go anywhere. I didn't know where you were going with that. Yeah, you know, that's been all over TikTok for me as well. A lot of protests going on in Melbourne, Australia. I saw like huge groups of police officers, and yeah, it was interesting. Will anything come of it? I don't know if anything will come of it. So Jeremy Saturn, hello, mister. I'd like to slab away that Neo 2 scissor. And do you have any Ho-Oh slabs for sale? That is not Shining Legends or Hidden Fates. I don't think I have any other Ho-Oh slabs at the time. Yo, the riots are nuts. Nuts! Here we are. So here is the scissor. Scissor me timbers. And we're going to get your name down. Are you in Australia? I'm in Oi! Throw some shrimp on the barbie, mate. I'm in Australia. No, I'm in the United States. I want to know what it's like in Australia. How are you guys doing over there other than the lockdowns? What kind of country are you guys? I know you're like a British colony, right? Just like the United States, right? You guys, same idea. You were a British colony, and then you got independence. We just teamed up with Australia and the UK to stop the Crimson Invasion. Hey, that's a good way to use that. The Crimson Invasion. The most popular Chinese booster box. All right, Jeremy. Let's get you added to Slab Away. China, China. I don't mind China at all. I kind of like China. I'm ready for our new overlords. Mr. Jeremy. Have you seen that? There's a lot of simping going on. They're like, we wish we had the president of China. There's people who dislike Joe Biden that much. Plus 50 credit score and 15 more minutes playing games. Now you set an additional $15. That would mean that you have $280 remaining. Okay? There you go, Jeremy. You're on the list. Yay! Almost everything in my house is from China. Hey, see? Nice. Mister, if you say rise up lights, it sounds like an Australian saying razor blades. Rise up lights. Very good. Next up, we got James O'Brien. He says, can I get 10 Evolving Skies? If possible, just add them to the live shipping. Social credit scores will only benefit people who are social. Seems like a tool to root out anyone who thinks different, if you ask me. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nuh-uh, mister. Are you accusing the communists of being groupthink? That's so wrong of you. They're very individualistic, actually. So I've heard. So I've been told to believe by my social credit score. Got any new espions? I want some lesbians. She's a lesbian. I used to live in Australia, 2008, 2010. It's not even if you're social. It only benefits those that repeat the party line. Yeah, it's like a... It's really fascinating. It's a form of control and power over the people. And the argument has been for a long time that capitalism beats communism. And what China's practicing is sort of like a mix of communist control but capitalist free markets. Just like you've got some European countries that are all like, oh, we're going to do wealth redistribution, but you can own your company. You know, so it's like a mix in China for communism. And it's interesting to me how rapidly they grew when they started allowing, you know, free market competition amongst their people. They grew rapidly because of that. But then we have people over here who are just trying to throw that out so fast. They're like, no way, man. We got to have equity. Equity, man. Equity. Your stuff is my stuff. It's very, you know, I don't know. It just makes me feel like the hippies are coming back. The hippies, and they're like, yeah, man, we're just going to smoke weed, and my stuff is your stuff, man. I could bake some bread, and you can shine shoes, and we'll be like a town, man. Gyarados V, we don't even need profits, man. Mister, which country would you go to if you had a choice? If I had a choice? Ooh, good question. I would say I want to go to a country that has a very strong identity. Okay, I don't want to go to a country that's trying to be globalist. I'm trying to go to a country with the exact opposite of that. I want to go to a country that's really sure of who it is and that it just wants to remain that, doesn't want to change, right? Like China's not trying to be a globalist China. Japan's not trying to be a globalist country. They're not like bringing everyone in and saying, we hate our Japanese culture. So I would want to go to a country that really likes its own culture and is trying to hold on to that. And then I would kind of just, I would like to be absorbed into that and join them and not really have to think so much about great leaps of changes culturally. Legoland, Japan or Eastern Europe. I'm on my way to Russia. Voila. Here's Flareon. Can you say, I'm the Joker, baby? I'm the Joker, baby. Afghanistan? I'm on my way to Afghanistan. I mean, that's a fair point. Afghanistan's Taliban, they're in control now, and I don't think they wanted to change. I think they said, no, we'll do things our own way. And it's so crazy that they ended up winning, you know? And I think it's because the Afghanistan military was just a propped up military that didn't care about being American. I don't think they really wanted to, ultimately. I don't think they were willing to die for it. This was a concept I was telling my wife about. I was like, you know, these Taliban guys, they're like the opposite of feminists. They don't want gender equality. They want gender inequality. And I told my wife, I was like, so when they were marching in, where are all the strong feminists? Where are they all? Where they need to be shooting them down because they're so tough and equal to men. And I was telling my wife, I was like, where's all the Afghanistan feminist men who are ready to die for their ideals? They're Western, Western, we want to teach all this stuff in college. And they weren't there. They weren't ready to die for those ideas. And it's kind of interesting to me, these concepts, because it makes me wonder, what do men die for? I don't think men in the West have had to die for much for a long time. You know what I mean? Like an ideological war. I don't think that's happened since like World War II. And it makes me wonder, like, what will young men today die for? Would you throw yourself in front of a grenade to protect the feminist? You know, like, let's say you had a government that was promoting feminism in your country. And it's not even, it's like some other imperial country from across the world. And they're coming in and you're Islamic, right? And you have traditional beliefs. Oh, it's like the man's the head of the family. The woman, she has the children, cooks. Those are old traditional. Those are antiquated, right? They're barbaric. But are you going to jump in front of the grenade for the imperial army from halfway across the world? And, you know, they basically look down on you like you are a barbarian. I don't think they will. Like, even if they agree with the United States ideas, they're not going to die for them. You know what I mean? I think that's ultimately why the Taliban stuck around for so long, because their actual religious traditions are things that they believe in and would die for. So that concept of men dying for ideas, it shows me that that's kind of like a source of real power in the world, not sort of like social media, Twitter power, which, you know, social media has influence, but like, the ability to have military power comes down to what men will die for. And it's got me asking all kinds of questions, like, what would I die for? You know, it's a tough question. It's not a question you have to answer either, because you and I have easy lives, and, you know, you can believe anything you want because I don't have to die for it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, do whatever you want. Welcome to America. Do whatever you want. I don't got to die for your ideas. There's enough money that I don't have to die for anything. You know what I mean? Mister, can I buy that slab? You want the Togepi? Let me take a quick look, okay? It looks like that Togepi is going to be $700. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so Togepi Expedition, right? Wait, no, it was Aquapolis. I remember now. What would you actually die for is a really tough and a great question, because I don't think anyone's got a very good answer to that. So it looks like for that Togepi, I would sell it for about $170, okay? I'll go price it up right now. Where'd it go, by the way? So those guys, they knew what they would die for, and they won. They actually won. Like, you know, no matter how we spin it, they won. We're gone. They're in power. We just lost. We just had a military defeat to the Taliban. The all-powerful United States, with this super military, we're always talking about how huge our military is and how rich we are. We lost. They get control of the country of Afghanistan. They don't like us. They're going to make deals with our enemy. They collected $90 billion of military equipment. And that's the end of it. And yes, I think part of it is that we made blunders, but I think the other part of it is they persevered. I think as a group, they persevered for their ideas. Even if you hate their ideas and disagree with them, they were still willing to die for those ideas. And that's part of why they won. All right, what's next? So, we helped Mr. James, and now we got Alexio Alvarez. He wants one live custom booster. Not a loss, though. I'm triggered. Who's not a loss? It was all donations. It's like kamikaze bombers. Oh, Mr. Alexio, I watched a documentary on World War II, and from what I understand, there weren't too many kamikaze bombers. But yes, there were kamikaze bombers, weren't there? Ooh. But yeah, it's, you know, the Japanese had the warrior spirit. And much later, they still have a very strong Japanese culture. And they're one of the wealthiest countries in the world with a great culture and long life expectancy and full of art and beautiful buildings. So yeah, maybe a little bit of that warrior spirit goes a long way. I don't know. But you know, the United States ended up winning that war. We must have had it too, somewhat. Black Star Zapdos, nice. This is vintage Zapdos from 2000, one of the Black Star promos, and it looks absolutely great. But yeah, you know, it's fascinating because militaries are filled up with men killing each other over territory and power and the ability to write law. That's what war's all about. Who gets to write the law? So you say, hey, I'll kill you, and then I get to write the laws. And it's so funny. I'd never asked myself that question before, but I was like, would I go throw myself on a grenade so that, you know, women can write the laws? And I was like, wait a second. I'm like, I don't think I would. And maybe that's why there are no matriarchal societies anywhere in the world. Like, the most matriarchal society we have are former patriarchies that just kind of said, all right, we're going to be progressive. And, you know, the women will be half of our politicians and half of our CEOs and half of our so-and-so. But when it comes to military warfare, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't die. I don't want to die, man. I don't want to die, and I definitely don't want to die for that. It's like, it's just sort of a, I realize it's just kind of like an ideology, like any religion. I don't want to die for it. If you told me to jump on a grenade for Catholicism, I wouldn't do that either, right? I don't know if you guys would. Maybe some of you are still Catholic. But I wouldn't die for someone else's ideology, and one that I don't know how it is so weird. You know, it's a weird thing to die for. How about your wife, Mr.? Well, I died 10 times over for my wife. She's got a Cloyster that knows Mega Drain. You know how many times I died for my Weedle fainted earlier today after that Cloyster used Mega Drain. She won, man. She won a long time ago. But that's different from an ideology like feminism. That is different. She won a long time ago. So next up we have Shahir 2 live customs. Yeah, would I die protecting women? I'd do that. That's a little bit different than dying for, let's say, modern ideologies. Boop. Talonflame, because, you know, one of the things that we're all worried about now in Afghanistan is, well, are the women going to be treated like they would in what do they call that law? The political religious law. Islam's, it's called, gosh, I can't remember the word. Sharia. There we go. Why was that so hard to remember? So we're all worried about the Taliban implementing Sharia law. Well, I'm not saying I'm worried about it, but I'm saying that the news is all worried about it, and the politicians are all worried about it. They're like, you need to have equal representation in your government. And they said, no, we don't. You know, and that upsets us greatly. That upsets us greatly. It's like, all right, well, then get over there and die for those ideas then. Why don't you go kill yourself? You know what I mean? Why don't you go shoot them all and get shot at? And but we won't. So maybe we don't care about it as much as we claim we do. So, Mr. Shahir, we care about it as long as it doesn't trouble us. What are your thoughts on Afghanistan? My thoughts on Afghanistan is going to be, Afghanistan's going to basically be North Korea all over again. It's probably going to be a really strong regime. It's going to hold over the country. They're going to be, now they're going to be propped up by our opponents, China and Russia and anyone else who's trying to counter the United States, there's a number of countries like Iran, they're going to be propped up by those countries and be part of their alliance. And they're just going to teach a history where Americans killed lots of Afghanistans and then got their asses kicked by the Taliban. That's going to be their history books over there, and they're going to teach their kids to hate America. And it might be a breeding ground for terrorism. I don't know. I don't know that last part. They might not want terrorism. They might just want a legitimate government. But, you know, when a government goes around doing things, it's, you know, everyone's kind of a terrorist is what I'm trying to say here. Governments are all kind of like mafias. Next up, we got John Peril. Everyone's like, what can I get away with doing? John Peril. You've got Kyurem. How nice. I'm sorry, Mr. Peril. You came so close. That's why aliens don't come down and get out their ships, because how strong they can't stop our bullet. What? One man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter, mister. Well, that's what I'm trying to say. One man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter. Kane Michael Phillips says, hey, mister, can I please get 2 of the Japanese cards and a pre-order for TCC grading? I have a Misty's Gyarados. I like the idea of having the card pulled on the table and graded in the same place. And that's exactly why we're working on it, and we're going to get that grading going. That is exactly why we're working on it. Misty's Gyarados. Oh, you must have had a vintage one. Hold on. I'm sorry, you must have had a Japanese one. Mr. Kane, Mr. Kane. Should have just got Sly Stallone over there. He sorted out of... What? What are you talking about? Ah, here we are. Here we are. Wow, man. Nice pull. Nice pull. How many graded cards do you think you have got? I got quite a few. Maybe terrorist groups in Asia operate out of Afghanistan. With the U.S. gone, it's a big worry for Asia, too. Yeah, I mean, you know, of course, there's going to be a lot of anxiety over this subject because our former opponent now has power and control, and I'm confident they don't like us. We're all confident of that. All right, here we are. And they said that their women folk, their daughters can only go to school for 7 years or something like that. And we're all like, I hate it. All right, well, go fight them, you know? Go fight them. And I don't think when it comes down to it, when it comes down to the root of what we die for, I don't think we want to anymore. I think we did fight for a while to kind of enforce those ideals, and I think we've given up. They were ultimately more willing to die for their idea than we were. All right, now the 2 Japanese cards. Let's grab those. Mr. Peter wants to slab away the Pop 4 Mew. Ooh, I don't even know his price. Just let them be their own culture. It's not our business. Well, you know, it sort of became our business when the World Trade Towers collapsed. That's what happened. That's why we went into the Middle East in the first place. All right, there we go. It was all fake. Bush did it. Let's see what we got. Psychic Energy. Ah, I'm sorry, man. You got an energy card and a trainer card this time. Dang it. They won't change, though, until the supposed prophecy. Right, well, I mean, you tell the Catholics to change, the Jews to change, the Episcopalians, the Lutherans, nobody wants to change. That's the whole concept of, like, a religion is supposed to be like, here are these laws, and they're unchanging, they're objective. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Kane. Now we have Anthony Deloa. 5 battle styles. You got it, Anthony. Change. I feel like the Catholic Church has been changing a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I feel like the Catholic Church has become Democrat liberal. Kind of strange to see. I didn't think I'd see that in my lifetime. Who's smarter, Bush or Trump? Oh, you know it's Bush, mister. Sleep. You smell like a Trumpy. I love hearing wrong facts from people. TCC, how much for that non-Holo Mew promo? You're talking about the Black Star promo? That's not true, Ben. The leader of terrorist groups in Asia were found in Afghanistan. Here's Sharaby. Can I get 10 evolutions? You can get 10 revolutions. We must revolt. Here's Gligar and Kingdra. Also, we've got Victini Full Art. Nice. They're the most powerful nation on the planet. Would you die for Pokies? Now, there's something that I would die for, finally. I would lay my life down for Pokies. I'll ride with my Pokies and I'll die with my Pokies. Hell yeah. Justin says, yeah, the Black Star promo. The elementary kids that can hung each other even with their color are in charge? What? They will never take my Pokemons. All right. Ooh, Pop Series 4 Mew. Something tells me that card's pretty rare. Something called my peepee. Pokemon promo, Pokemon League. That was released in 2000, huh? All right, we're looking up the first Mew because we want to find out the price on it. Sharia law in its purest form, straight from the Quran, is much less extreme than what modern Arab countries have granted a lot of women rights at the time, like divorce and land ownership. Very interesting. See, I wouldn't know that kind of stuff. I was just contemplating those kind of ideas, like what would you actually die for? And I feel that perhaps Americans don't want to die for as much as they think they do. Like, they'll argue for it. They'll be like, it should be this way. All right, well, what do you want to do about it? What do we got here? This is a tricky one to price, because if you look, it's got an 8 and a 9 on it. Number 8, PSA 9. It's a little confusing. I'm trying to get this priced up. Is it really 80? It might be 80. I'll just write it down as 80 then. Can't keep you guys waiting. I know you guys want to talk about the Pokies. Do not forget to order Fusion Arts. It just hit today. Nice, man. Fusion Arts. And to answer that, I already did order them. If there was something actually going on, I would die for my fellow man, same as why I got the shot. Sad to hear how you wouldn't do the same. Everyone is here because someone at some point fought for it. Mister, I'm trying to save everyone's life by not taking the shot. It turns out that the shot causes your pee-pee to shrivel up, and then you don't get to make any babies. You're so lucky I didn't take it. Now I can make all the babies. Nah, you know, I'm tired of that sort of guilting language, like I'm going to save a lot of people by taking the shot. I think that you had times in American history when the government actually ran all kinds of experiments on people, particularly people of color, which is one of the reasons why, ironically, the Black Lives Matter movement is saying that they're not going to take this shot and they're going to riot again if you try to force them. And this sort of heroism, like, I'm saving people because I took the shot. Okay, if people think that the vaccine is so effective, go out and take the vaccine, you know what I mean? And if I run off and die because I didn't take it, well, then that's just my mistake. But the sort of social guilting, while I don't really mind that as much, I would say the concept that a government can force you to consume like a pharmaceutical good, especially one that hasn't been tested over a long period of time, is such a horrible idea. You know what I mean? To give the government that sort of power. And it doesn't seem heroic at all. It seems like the opposite of heroism. It seems like it would be extremely nice for the companies that you know, sell these vaccines to the government. So there's an enormous amount of money to be made in this. And I would also say that protecting your right to decide what gets injected into you is probably a more noble idea than everyone must adhere to this kind of thing. I don't even think it's effective. If you just talk about effectiveness, when you tell people they must get a shot, what you do is you trigger a sort of psychological reaction in the minds of people, and they say, wait a second, I'll decide if I get injected with things. Thank you. And so it's not effective to tell people that they must inject these liquids into themselves. And then at the same time, if you've already had the virus, you could even argue from a financial point of view that it's financially wasteful to take the vaccine for people who we know already took it. So there's all kinds of arguments you can place up and down, but the sort of heroism argument, I've saved people because I took the vaccine, I feel like it's a sort of psychological guilting. And because of who I am, it doesn't work on me, mister. Oh, no. Psychological guilting doesn't work on me very well at all. Uh-oh. You have to use a different trick. I die later from COVID. What if I died later from COVID? It'd be so funny. So anyways, let's price up this next Mew. So Pop Series 4 Mew. Uh-oh, you will have to come up with a better argument than that. Mister, I'm a hero because I took the vaccine. Wait a second, that argument doesn't work on me. You'll have to try a different argument. Wait a second. Wow, I don't even see this other Mew for sale. Let's see if there's a completed one. It's like my brain's like right away. That's an emotional argument. Pop Series. Man, I don't see any of these for sale. Oh, here we go. I found them. I take it back. So let's see. And what did we get on ours? PSA 6. What's my favorite Pokemon? Chansey. Because I'm going to eat some scrambled eggs later today. So, my question is, what should we price a 6 at, huh? Dude in Australia has been double vaxxed with 2 different vaccines, 4 in total. He'll be dropping glowing turds in no time. People in the country have fought for you to not get the shot. Makes sense, right? Oh, well, thank you, guys. Frozen Fear says, Tree Fitty, 1 million. I say free, send it to me. Good morning, mister. I'm up and on my way to work. I'm glad to hear that, Mr. Lavish. Where? Oh, he says, what are the vendor sheets? They're sheets made for vendors. All right, we're going to price the Pop Series 4 Mew at $110. Mister, what's this music, please? This particular song that's playing is called Waterfall. Undertale OST Waterfall. Mister, if you have some time, can I ask how much the Suicune and the Charizard is? There are bazillions, mister! Well, I can't price these up the whole time. We got to keep the line moving, okay? So let's get the line moving again. We got Kevin O'Neill, 1 Japanese common, 1 McDonald's. I have a bag. You got it. Oops. Bumping into stuff. He says, whoa, 110. That's it? Oh, you're making me double guess myself. Give me a second. Let me look one more time. It's the same card, right? Yeah. You know, it probably could be raised by like $5 or $10, but I think 110 is about accurate. All right. Oh, he wanted one other thing. You're making me second guess myself, mister. Kevin O'Neill, let's get your common. Peter sent 25 to him on PayPal. Boop. There we go. What are you going to pull, mister? Boop. Hey, Blaine's Doduo. Very nice. I didn't mean to jeopardize the price. Do you have CGA graded cards? Hey, TCC, would you do 50 for the Black Star promo? Since it's non-holo, I checked PSA site. No, I would not. I would need to go back and research it again to drop it to 50. It's possible I mispriced it. It's possible that you could get one for $50. I go off of buy it now prices, okay? Do you think the Chinese president really looks like Winnie the Pooh? I don't think he looks like Winnie the Pooh at all, actually. I don't think he looks like Winnie the Pooh at all. But I think that they were just describing him as like Winnie the Pooh in order to sort of like You know, you make fun of things in order to belittle them. It's a form of trying to change concepts in a person's mind. That's what humor is used for. And so he probably didn't like that. But I mean, like, he doesn't physically look like Winnie the Pooh. He looks like a Chinese man. Mr. Kevin. Kevin. That'll be 50 social points and an extra 20 minutes playing video games. Kevin O'Neill. I think you're over here for sure, right? Here it is. He definitely looks like a panda. Really? He looks like a human to me, man. I don't know why people say that. I couldn't see it myself, says Isaac, right? I think people want to attribute some sort of whimsical animal to him because, again, it's a humor. It's a function of humor. But like if you're just comparing it side by side, one looks like a cartoon bear and the other one looks like an Asian man. All right, here we go. Logging back in. Mister, what's up, Pokezonic? Mister only does what benefits him. Clowns? How much that Bulbasaur? The Bulbasaur. Oh, he's for free. You just have to go me, 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 me. All right. Taking forever to load. What do you think about having a loyalty service? I wouldn't want that because I would have to adjust all my prices to reflect it. You know what I mean? So I feel that well, yeah, it's a good question. Been fishing in the lake yet? Have I been fishing in the lake yet? No. No, I've not. All right, here we are. Finally. Jeez Louise. We have Pete Heinz. 3 Fates Collide for Mr. Pete. Oh, Mr. Pete. Alex goes, me, 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 me. You actually do have that Mew double what it's worth. The non-holo is up on eBay for $40, but it is now with $5 shipping. Oh, okay. Let me go find that real fast because I felt like I was having trouble finding it. So the price, you might have heard me. I was having trouble. Black Star. I was actually questioning if the price was wrong. Yeah, I think you're right, actually. I don't know why it's... I don't know how I came up with 80. I think I was trying to talk to you guys and trying to find prices at the same time. So thank you for looking that up. He will be $40 if you're interested in him. I was going too fast on the pricing. He's better priced, though, and this one's better priced. These two are about accurate. I'm sure about them. There were a whole bunch of these Mews. I was having trouble figuring out whether I was looking at 8s or 9s. Because I thought I was looking at PSA 8s for $40. I thought that's what I was looking at. I thought I was looking at a PSA 8 for $40 and that the PSA 9 was for $90. I was like, I guess that makes sense. You got it, mister. What do we got? We got Mega Catcher. And Zygarde. Well, that's what I get for trying to price it in the middle of the live stream. And Pupitar. Ah, darn it, man. I'm sorry. Mr. Pete, those are a little cold. I'll sleeve them up for you, though. Would you take V-Bucks as payment, mister? I don't want to take Bitcoin, but I would take V-Bucks. The superior currency and the new gold. V-Bucks. It's the new gold. Get in while you still can. Next up, we got Ruben Aguilar. He says, slab away payment. Woo! Thank you, Mr. Ruben. Where's Ruben? Here it is. So you sent 25, right? Let's do the math on that. 151 minus 25 is 126. You got 126 remaining. After that, we got George Smith. One more Japanese common. Do you accept EBT? That's right. Oh, I'm sorry, man. This time, that extra card is going to be an electric energy. So that's for George Smith. When the market crashes, we all be using RuneScape Gold. That's right. We'll all be turning to the real hedge against inflation, RuneScape Gold. What is Zaza, mister? I know, but do you? I'll Google it. Ugh. Zaza, official music video, 6x9. Is this new? I see a girl who looks like she had a boob job in the background. Next up, we got Pete Heinz. He says, 2 more live packs. You got it, Pete. 1 and 2. Copycat. Hyperinflated to oblivion. PSA 10, 190. All right. Just looking for it. Ugh. Is it really not here? PSA 10, 190, huh? Oh, it's a GMA 10. I'm sorry. It's a GMA 10, and that's why there's no marks here on the side either. Whoops. I wrote down the wrong company name. You got this beautiful Butterfree. Yay! Mr. Pete. Sweet. Mister, I keep missing these hits on the live. Ah, John Perro, I'm sorry, mister. You were so close. And then Pete swooped in like a hawk. Shahir says, screw it. 2 more live customs. Oh, no. Shahir did 2. I'm sorry, Shahir. 1 and 2. Ah. Damn it. These live customs, man, they really get addictive. Eric Lovato was buying like 2 every single night. It was pretty wild. John Perrell says 1 more live booster. 1 more liver booster, he says. Liver booster. Ah, it's Golduck. No! Mr. John. What is this music, man? What's up, Toby? Toby. Pete Heinz, he says, slab away the Pop 4 Mew. You got it, Mr. Pete. So that $25 is just for the reserve, meaning that you will still need to pay down the 110. Maybe you just felt like sniping it tonight. There you go, Pete. Mr. Pete. Pete. Pete Heinz. Mew. 1-0. Okay, there you go, Mr. Pete. You're in slab away. Now we got Donald Story. Donald Story says, for my Togetic on slab away, says Donald Story. All right, Mr. Donald, I'm subtracting 70, which means you have 70 remaining. Thank you, Mr. Donald. We need a bit. What? We need a what? A Bitcoin? All right, we're still going. We're at 5 a.m. in the morning. We're approaching 3 hours. And it looks like we have not received a new order. That's perfect. Guys, please no more orders. No more orders. Who's placing an order? We're at 5 a.m. in the morning, so this is the perfect time to wrap up. I know the stream is only 3 hours long. Normally, we go for a bit more than that lately. But this is the perfect time to wrap up because I still got some shipping to do, guys. We started late today. My Weedle was busy using a string shot, and so I started like 2 hours late. It was really bad. Alex says, no. All right, so no more orders. Hit and refresh one more time. Make sure no stragglers were missed. Let me send one more live. Oh, man, are you sure? What if it's cold, man? What if it's cold, John Perrell? No, you really shouldn't, John Perrell. I tell you what, John Perrell, I'm going to say no to that, and then I'm going to pull the next pack. You ready? Cold. Oh, if you had ordered 2, it would have gone through. But we are going to stop there. 2 packs away would have been 1 more hit, huh? Oh, man. I'll have to shuffle that now for the next one. Cut 1 random card from my bag, says Nick Gruber. I would do that, Nick. Does this mean I should order 2? No, no, no. It does not mean that. It means that we were all done with orders because I had called all. Mister, did you miss my 3rd order? It says Captain Splash Card. What was your order, mister? Let's see. Hold on, let me skip this song. I'm going to take care of that before we wrap up. We got Caleb, Pete, Caleb, Pete. What was your PayPal name? I can't. Sent, mister. Well, Mr. Toxicaboot is going to be refunded, okay? He says, I need a hit. It is going to be refunded, to be clear, because I called no more orders. And you know what that means? It means no more orders. And we're at the 3-hour mark. Nick says, cut it. Mr. Play balls in your jaws. Cut, cut, cut. Nick G. Cut a card from someone's random bag. Somebody, Mr. Captain Splash Claw, what was it that you needed open? I don't know what his name on PayPal is. Pete Heinz. Shahir. Pete Heinz. All right, he's not really responding. All right, guys, we are done for the night. I want to thank you all for being here. It was a special late night live stream. It was a late night live stream. George Smith. Thank you. All right, let's go check George Smith real fast. George, your last order was 1 more Japanese common. I did take care of that. You pulled a Japanese card. You pulled a energy card. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm looking for any other George Smith. George Smith. Oh, maybe I missed you. Let's see. Because you had 2 of the exact same orders. Give me a second. So your bag is up here. I don't know. I feel like we didn't miss you. So you got the energy card. It looks like your previous order was that Ghastly. I actually remember this too, though. So I think we did take care of you. All right. There we go. Have a nice night, everyone. Yay! He says, nope, you pull it, mister. See you tomorrow.